will say is the Des was spot on about the veto. I really like the France ban of Vertigo because that was Astralis' best map during the last ESL Impact season. So you get rid of that, it already makes things a little bit more complicated. Marie's been unbelievable this event. I think KitKat's been incredibly solid. I'm not gonna lie, I'd expect a little bit more out of Ismo, but Sugar Shock has been really stepping up when they need it.
Yeah, she's been the real surprise to me because Ismo is the talent that we kind of touted as being the top dog. I like the Ancient pick, you know, for both teams. Obviously, Denmark plays a lot through the qualifiers, look very solid on it. We know that the Astralis players are comfy on here. We know Guild were very good on this map as well, right, for KitKat. So, you know, I think overall it's a good pick, but we have Astra and Rachel on the outside.
I was going to say that, it's scary. This was the one-trick map that Lella Cook went all the way to the grand final with. Last finals out for ESL Impact. Ismo already looking for shots, but it's Julie, not once, but twice with the dinks.
And nice shots to Julie. They're going to continue to extend. There are 3 players in lane they have to get past, and jumping past will do the trick. Rachel will allow them to get by. The smoke will land, and that's locked off a lot of these CTs. In fact, almost all of them.
Yeah, Kaede now needs to go back in, but she has found a shot, and Julie's found another one. This has suddenly turned into a 5 versus 2. Denmark do get the bomb down, but France are on the way.
Yeah, and they're just moving as a pack. 4 of them. This is this classic, the kind of style of Astra Rachel just running at ya. And it's going to fall now to Marie to get every single kill. Bomb's not planning for it either, which doesn't make her job any easier. With the kit on Astra, there was no chance there.
Yeah, I really like that. It's the disengage out from CT. They see the smoke and they think, well, Kaede's got good space over at ledge. We'll just take everyone. And we'll just move as a unit. You've already highlighted it, but it's worth saying. It will be Astra and Rachel having this pack mentality. I think Julie's really good at holding down mid angles. And then Kaede can be really free where she wants to move with the AWP.
It's crazy the amount of potential offers that are on this team, right?
Where's KitKat's gun?
Interesting.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. I mean, this is just Nico anyway. Yeah, Dust 2 is going to be very good for France.
Yeah, scary for Denmark.
It's Astra's best map by far. We saw that, you know, Rachel's been good on this map before and let her cook roster. Kaede, you know, this is a map that FlyQuest Red play a lot. It's why the Canadian team is so good at it, right? Because Goose, you know, translates so well on that map. So you've kind of got all these individuals that love Dust 2 and love just to frag out. So for Denmark, I think winning Ancient is a necessity if they want to make this series competitive. Because I think Dust 2, I don't like the chances there.
The Ancient picks are actually really scary. I thought that Denmark would go for the Inferno pick because of how good it's looked this tournament.
It's surprising, isn't it?
Because
you beat Poland.
Yeah, you beat Poland on it, but also how scary this French team looked on Ancient and the track record of it.
I guess, you know, you do have Astra calling, you know, well, not calling. I think Kate has listened to call her, but Astra on Inferno, we know that's one of her best maps as well.
That's true. Everywhere you go, it's difficult.
It's Navi's best map. They were unbeaten on it this season until the very end.
Yeah, this is actually a really hard veto for Denmark, but they'll still give it their best shot. Flashbangs counted in towards mid, and it's the MP9s doing the work. Between Julie and Emerald, they're able to clean up all of middle, and yet again, Denmark are put in a really uncomfortable spot.
Yeah, not a good way to start your first gun round. Anya with that ult, maybe she has a chance to crawl this one back. 2 defenders on B, so they will have even fights. And it's the MP9 that falls back in short. Rachel goes back to cover off Red, so there is space to gather. Can they catch up this play along? Oh, wasn't quite looking, but Astra adjusts. Anya misses her mark. Now's the bomb dropped. She might even be allowed to save. No, Rachel will run her down.
Yeah, and now suddenly your MP9s can be upgraded into both AKs and AWPs. Emerald is definitely a player that will fly under the radar a lot for just people in general when you're talking about this France roster, but during the qualifiers I thought she was absolutely brilliant, and on Ancient in particular, I can't remember who they were playing against, but Emerald had something like 20 kills, 6 deaths. She was running over people, especially on that T side.
Yeah, I've always rated Emerald. I think she's a player that we haven't seen enough of, you know, kind of at the top level of the women's team, but she does have a huge amount of potential, and I'm really glad we get to see her kind of play for the French national team, because I do think she's a really, really strong player. We saw her a bit, I think, during like the first year of ESL Impact in and out of teams, but
yeah,
It's been a bit of a minute since we've really seen her at the top level.
Yeah, she's playing on Whopper right now.
She's got another teammate here, right? Whopper? I feel like, does Alonda play on that team?
Not 100%. I know
Okay.
Meliti does.
Okay. No, I don't think she does.
No, she doesn't.
No, I'm thinking of another.
I think it's a similar name.
Exo? I don't know.
Anywho, we've got Emerald here.
We've got Emerald here. That's the important thing. So the first gun round, they get absolutely run down. That's kind of what you should expect from this French team just throughout, is unbridled aggression.
Yeah.
They're going to get in your face.
Yeah.
Every one of these players likes to do it.
I think what's interesting is we've got another one of these games on stream where it is one team that is incredibly aggressive versus more structured Counter-Strike. Yeah. And it's all about how uncomfortable Team France can make Team Denmark feel. If you're trying to go for a setup on the T side in particular, if you lose map control at the first instance, what's your backup plan? If that isn't working, a timeout should be called early by Zebron, and they should be able to just reset and adapt. It's all about improvising and sort of overcoming all the adversity that Team France are going to throw at you.
It's cool they got Zebron here, actually, right? Because I think he just very recently has stepped down as the coach of Astralis women's team, so good they were able to keep him on for at least the Danish national team. But again, that's experience that he's had working with these individuals too that translates over, very similar to Alsace for the Team Poland. Can we get this half bite coming through? You can tell France know that the economy is just not in this place. They're not going to overextend in this round. But when the guns come out, you bet your bottom dollar they will be in your face.
Yeah, I think it's a cool setup, actually. You've got two players that are waiting over towards A in case it's going to be this execute, in case Denmark feel like they're going to anticipate France to go in towards middle. Instead, it is very similar to the pistol, where Julie is trying to take names. It's Marie that takes her head off instead. And now Denmark can scale into Donut. Kaede can just swing with the orb, then you're worried about the player on boost. You can have no idea that she's there.
Yeah, Emerald's there to clean up. Kaede takes down 2 as well, and they've heard that last player, Kit Kat, removed. It's interesting that Julie plays such a prominent position kind of in mid here on Ancient. Not that I doubt her by any measure. She's definitely an incredibly experienced player that I think is able to step up in those big moments. But I just kind of look at the the names in this team and I think, yeah, okay, I thought you would have got one of the more aggressive riflers in that spot.
I quite like it though, because you've got Astra and Rachel playing their role positions from Letterkirk.
True.
Julie, by standing here and locking out middle, especially in the mid round, it just means that Kaede can be a lot more sort of dynamic on the orb.
Yeah, I guess if you're Denmark, if you wanted to try and punish an area, this would be the space to do so.
Yeah.
Because I think B is going to be almost impossible to get into, frankly.
I think it's going to be really tough. But they're going to try and at least establish some cave control. Ismo just poking and prodding into it. You've got to be careful because Emerald is right down below you at the shelf. Are they going to clear this?
Surely have to, yeah. Ismo thorough on it, and I think they know that other player escaped back into Donut. But Kaede is now going to slip in. Ismo sets up the flash to allow Marie to peek in, so as long as Kaede doesn't hit the timing shot, Marie has a good chance here. In fact, Flash doesn't quite catch her. She's holding deep. But Marie finds a target elsewhere.
Yeah, important, but look at this. France are pushing back in towards middle off the back of it. Oh my goodness me. Kaede completely overlooks Marie. They know that she was there. And suddenly Julie's in a really uncomfy spot. Meanwhile, on B, Team Denmark are scaling.
Yeah, this is a little interesting. Julie, well, she's the only one left now, so it doesn't really matter if she finds that kill. Anya will remove Astra with the orb, and they do find success. Again, this just comes down to, I suppose, targeting that area, right? They get all of the lane control. Rather than progressing into cave immediately, they take middle. They're able to scale through and remove 2 targets to set them up to then pounce on B.
Yeah, really important because you've got Astra that is now sort of being delegated to go back towards long, look at Red Room, cover for Marie, and then you've got 2 players from Denmark still remaining on shelf, putting a little bit of contact in, so you give Marie that space to work with, walk back, deal with the donut players. It was a nice idea from France, but Denmark were one step ahead.
Great round from Marie. It's been good seeing her so consistent on LAN because, you know, I think one of the big conversation points around this team is how young it is, right? Just all these individuals and the pressure that you can feel, in these big lands. I think the individuals have had some experience playing in the I can't remember what the name of it. It's the Scandinavian
I know exactly.
competition.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but it's not helpful that I don't remember it either.
No, but anyway, it's the one where they lost to Finland. But
Oh, the
obviously,
Svenska one.
yeah, but I don't think it's called that because it's not Swedish.
I thought you were thinking of like, was it Fragbox? There's an event there.
No,
That
it's
is in Denmark that they go to as well.
no, it's a specific one where all the Scandinavian women teams play. So like
Okay.
Finland, Norway, Denmark.
We were not on the
Is there
same
another-
page. I was thinking of a Danish land.
No. But it's one that they played quite recently. They lost to Finland. But again, that's experience for them on land coming into this, which is something that, yeah, they are lacking. And that's a stark contrast to the other team, which has a lot of experience across the board, every single one of these players, but especially Julie, Astra, Rachel, and Katie.
It feels like Denmark have got the right read on sort of every single one of these early stages. Ismo's being left to lurk down B, whilst the rest of the team are about to walk in. France, I think, have just got ahead of this. Kaede rotates back over into CT with the AWP, and Emeralds in Donut.
Yeah, is Katie actually holding the active line, though? She'll start to move forward. She might have just missed this timing. Yeah, they've already crept through. So they're able to scale in. Emerald tries to stop them, and she does a pretty decent job. One down, the peek through, punished by Anya. Kaede predictable on that one after firing off the shot in CT. And Ismo is holding for Julie's push. This is looking very calm and collected.
So this is what we were speaking about in that technical pause, where you've got the two variances of play style. You've got France that kind of want to get aggressive, and they're going to play a much more loose style of Counter-Strike with Astra. And you've got Denmark. That entire round was so calculated. Minute one, Ismo lurking, being given the space over at B ramp, communicating to the team, I don't see anything, so be a bit careful when you come out of A. The entry path in, they're scaling, so they avoid the donut swing initially. They avoid Kaede's contact, and then you've got Anya just posted on the natural angle that Kaede is going to slide into. Everything by design. That was a brilliant round of CS.
Yeah, it's just as a side note. Okay, they're getting excited. Oh, if I confirm yesterday, Brandon, everyone listening to the broadcast can actually hear
Nice.
the noises, the cheers, the jeers, the maniacal laughter that comes through.
They spoke to Zaz about that yesterday. She just started laughing again.
Again, yeah.
And Juliana was like, "Yeah, I get that through 3 different headsets."
Yeah. It's just layers of Zaz laughing all the way down.
Couple of rounds built back now for Denmark. Money's still not quite broken, and this is France now getting aggressive. They've really prioritized this lane control, and they've got it between Rachel and Astra.
A deadly duo to lock down this position. But Denmark will look to retake it. Smokes have been used early, so that'll burn some time off the clock, but I don't think there's a third one to follow up. They used one in cave early just to get out quickly. So let's see how successful Denmark are at breaking this. There are a lot of CTs holding for them. They flash through, but Julie close by, and Astra and Rachel. It's an absolute massacre in the doorway. I don't think they were anticipating quite that much resistance.
Yeah, there was also 2 players playing anti-flash. So you've got the MP9 close to the door playing anti. Astra was also anti behind the box, and then Rachel was just taking the contact. Rachel even finds Marie as a follow-up. Good discipline from France, expecting that reaction out of Team Denmark, because I haven't seen them anywhere else on the map. This time there was no mid-control. Anya will at least find one back, but this would be an incredible clutch, but she's only got 30 seconds to work with, and the walls are closing in.
Yeah, maybe she found that kill on Kaede. There might be something to say, because Julie is low, but she's getting pushed through spawn now, so saving is even going to be impossible. If she attempts it, you imagine they're going to hunt for sure. This is a team that won't let you get away with a single thing. And Emerald will confirm this kill. Certainly, there's just no way Anya is ready for this position.
Clean round, and that's all from being proactive from the word go. That was Rachel and Astra establishing the lane control incredibly quickly. And then Denmark just forced into making a reaction, to be honest. One in which they didn't really want to. Denmark now take a timeout. I still do feel like that if they want to pressure middle, that does feel like a vulnerability, but at the same time, you can just lead with utility. You don't have to use your utility and go with it, to say. You can go for a late round play. It felt like that when Denmark were setting things up and they were sounding out the round, feeling a little bit more comfortable within their default, that's where they do their best work.
Good to see France with the change up there in that round after playing a couple of slower, like more passive defaults. That one they get a bit more aggressive on the CT side, establish all the control early. Denmark aren't going to allow them the luxury this time around. They will fight it back, but the change up for France is now pushing A main.
It's just so intrusive. It just makes you feel so uncomfortable if you're on the T side. At least they have got this control, but they haven't got the first stage of cave.
I think they know that Denmark are going to play this slow, so they're more than happy just to establish some of this control elsewhere. Anya scoped. I wonder if that had been heard by Julie. It's going to be a tough one to clear, yeah. I don't know if the ops are necessarily the best weapon for the job for those close angles. That's going to free up Emerald now to rotate.
I wonder how much information that also gives the other way, though, to Denmark, because you've seen Julie, who's been playing in red room the entire time, now push A main. You've got to start to think maybe the AWP is in middle now.
Well, now you know.
Yep, now you know.
KitKat gets a shot to the leg. Kaede flashed off. That one goes deep enough to deal with her. She'll be forced backwards. So they can try and take some space, but the problem is A main is completely out of control. Bomb needs to be recollected too, and Rachel is slowly pushing up towards ledge.
Julie's gone as well.
If they go back, oh, this fight could be everything. Ismo, looks like the timing will favor her. So now you definitely feel like you can go A.
Yeah, you do, but how much can Kaede find? There's the first, not quite the second. Marie will trade that one and looks to take space. There should be a smoke coming in momentarily in CT.
They're not ready for this fast line through Donut. Surely, no, Sugar Shock is anticipating Rachel already being there. To double up through Temple. They're going to force their way out. Ismo sees Emerald on the cross. Now there is Smoke and Kit and Molly, so plenty of utility to use here to flush out these Ts. And Astra heads up play, expecting Marie on that flank. Smoke lands to block them off. There is a Molly they can throw for, but I think even still Astra has another Smoke, so you can't quite counter this defuse, and they're just going to try and stick it. We see there's so much here this event, and once more we will see it. Diffuse in front of their faces.
So clever from Astra, because she runs in front of the diffuser, and where the spam has then changed and you get the kill, you think, oh, I can just stick the reload. That's the diffuser knocked off the bomb. No, it isn't. Right under their nose the entire time. And where Denmark answered back with a few rounds, it's a French rebuttal. At least the bomb down can give you more economy, and it can still be on the AWP, but the game is starting to escape Denmark.
Similar situation in the Portugal-Australia game right now, almost an identical scoreline.
For who?
For Portugal. All fires off from the boost. Molotov will prevent Rachel from pushing.
I think they'll be aware, though, because you've dropped that Molly close, that there's probably going to be one on the boost. This is very one-dimensional out of Denmark. They haven't got any mid-control, but this is the first time they've really been prioritizing cave.
If they can find their target here on Julie, it's a 1-for-1 on ramp itself. Rachel does get curious, but she's removed. Tucked in, Astra has no chance against Marie. And KitKat, quick on the trade, gives an advantage for Denmark as the bomb goes down.
Really smart from Marie, because she saw the grenade coming in from the right-hand side, so she just hard clears Astra. Ismo now trying to lock out Emerald from the site, and in fact it's Anya to do it. And Kaede's got the AWP. The money's actually quite low for France, so Denmark will get away with this round. It's just whether Kaede can get away with the AWP.
Yeah, I don't think Denmark are so eager to hunt. They just want the rounds on the board right now. I've been actually fairly surprised by Anya so far. I feel like she's had a couple of good, impactful rounds, this one included. They're keeping the energy good in their camp. Third T-side round, K-Day spotted, but she will be okay to save the AWP.
Yeah, Ismo's playing a lot more of just a proactive role in terms of locking off rotates. I think she's been given a lot of space on this team to kind of do whatever she wants. And her kills, locking off Julie to go through middle on a number of occasions. This round, even if Anya didn't get that kill on Emerald, she would have been there. It's almost like the players that have got the least experience, but the most experience playing together are the ones that have got the freedom to do the most.
Smoked off trees. That one's a bit off meta. I sometimes pull that one out, you know, when I'm feeling a bit of variety. This time they group towards A. The AWP is here. Shadow spotted. K-Day gets a freebie. She can disengage as well. This is the one weapon you wanted to avoid this round. You do not want to give her chances to take names.
They're still going to commit into it, but the rotations are already here. And again, no ramp control for Denmark, so you have to walk back in towards mid. The pause comes in with the bomb. And for Ismo and Marie, that they look to at least take some space. Anya's hoping for an opportunity, and K-Day gives it to her.
It's going to be Rachel that picks up the AWP instead.
Probably the only one that isn't really an AWPer.
Yeah, funnily enough. Ismo. Oh, Emerald! She's a digger. Beautiful shot. There's Rachel with that AWP. They're still going to commit in. They have to at this point. Emerald is taking everyone down. She shines bright in Donut.
Yeah, that was awesome from Emerald. The reposition, you think, oh, there's no way she can get all of them, and she does. Rachel does her best work locking out A main. Anya's not ready for another peak to come forward. And it's with the limited weaponry, that one AWP. France is still able to build in rounds. Denmark can still survive the half.
Now they've got 2 AWPs. And Emerald, again, a really strong AWPer. It's crazy because you think Astra could be the secondary AWPer, but Emerald more than happy to take up that role too.
And I don't think she AWPs on her team actually either.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. She's definitely done it in the past, but I don't think she's always been a primary anyway. K-Day is the primary AWPer though.
Yeah, and you got to be careful because K-Day will just keep reswinging. She loves to fight. Always wants more. Astra tucked into the corner, Rachel playing behind default, and K-Day is just looking to either help out by peeking or setting up her riflers. You can tell that Denmark have got a really good understanding just on a macro level of sort of how to take new areas of the map when things just aren't really going to plan.
Yeah, I've been really impressed by the pauses they take in the mid-round to reassess the situation. That's unlucky.
Oh.
They do have space in towards A. There's a rotation now.
That's really interesting. That just comes from Julie. That comes from the Rev Room player immediately moving to Temple. Emerald on a tight corner. Whilst the AWP will ring out, you still got Julie who just walks through the smoke. Bomb's not yet down. This is so intrusive from France. And now Anya has to do everything. First kill is hers with 20 seconds left. The entire French roster, it doesn't feel great, but there's another one on Julie.
It's exactly the style of CS you expect from France. They don't want to allow you to get comfortable. The AWP sing out on A. France on to 8 as we go into the last round of the half. Bomb plant not allowed. Denmark go into this final round with bare bones by.
Really impressed with Julie. Really impressed, especially in that round. Just instantly getting the spam on towards Shelf. Coming to K-Day, right, Donut can be open. I'm smoked off. I'm going to go all the way around towards A just to help you out. There's an immediate rotation from France off B to sort of pick up the slack in towards mid. Another off-meta smoke in elbow, but it's okay because Denmark eat the utility instead on Shelf.
Yeah, they want to go fast onto B. That's going to be the play. Astra, who hasn't really been tested too much, will be in this round. They're very quick here, but so are the CTs.
There's 4 of them.
4 of them lie in wait, jumping over. They're able to make it uncomfortable, but Julie, she's looking incredible comfortable. Look at those shots. Last comes from Julie. Locks out B. France absolutely demolishing Denmark.
I guess it is Astralis.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4 kills from Julie, 4 players on that B bomb site for France. And where it felt like in the middle of this first half that Denmark had a good understanding of what Team France were trying to do. They started trying to make their way back in, but it's just France with the consistent re-aggression putting a disruption to all of these plans. It is one-way traffic, which is pretty diabolical, considering the scoreline doesn't really reflect how I think the game's really gone.
No, I don't think so. Like, I feel like Denmark have had some really good control. Their mid-rounding has felt actually pretty spot on. But France doing French things. And they're going to be going to B, where at the moment it's just Ismo. They've lent heavily towards A. That does not look to be the play.
No, Ismo's just spamming, just in case you can grab one of these kills, but nothing given. Rotations need to come in. France, that they gain all this real estate for free, and now they can set up comfortable afterplants.
It's tricky. They didn't buy a kit either, despite the heavy stack towards A. They knew that B would be conceded, so dangerous move. Let's see what they can get done with all of the USPs scaling in. Marie gets one, but the boost up is beautiful for Julie. She's been so good. She just keeps on going. Anya looking to finally put her down, and it is a one-on-one, but time is ticking. Kayde tucked into the corner, will fall back, disengage, knows this bomb needs to be defused. Anya's charging her down, but Kayde plays the clock, and she has done enough, most certainly. The kill will go the way of Denmark, but the round goes to France.
Yeah, really well played by Kayde and Julie, to be honest, because even in that situation where she's reloading, she's still jumping, spinning around, making it really difficult to kill and just burning valuable seconds off the clock. It's going to be so frustrating when you're in that position. You know you need that kill to get on the bomb as soon as possible, and then Kayde jumps and then just runs away.
And Nico rush in towards middle. They will find success, actually, onto Julie. She wanted to get some eco frags. Instead, she is the one that is fragged. And they find one more, including a team kill before they go. But that's fine.
Just the confidence on these players. Just you see like 5 mid, and then you just look at the mini-map, and Rachel's already just out shelf, like running at middle to try and get these kills. Denmark wanted to go even further. They wanted to try and catch off France. It didn't happen. And now France are just 2 rounds away from taking Denmark's map pick in a dominant fashion. Free lean A early. No one's in middle.
What is this?
Look at this space for Julie. She's just going to walk through the Red Room smoke potentially, just on the outskirts of it at the moment.
This is bizarre.
I think they're really anticipating it. Is quite meta at the moment to go instantly into an A hit. So we're gambling that France would sort of play what is relative, but instead they just take mid for free.
Yeah, it feels crazy, especially when you've got the AWP over there, that you continue to have the rest of these players committed.
They've not moved.
Surely at some moment, especially with Kayde and Cave, you got to start making moves, or Rachel's just going to take your bomb site. You know she's looking for it, and she finds what she looks for. Ismo, yeah, I mean, Rachel just single-handedly takes the bomb site.
Yeah, this is really bizarre. And then Julie can just backstab. She's been in mid pretty much the entire time. As soon as you don't see anything early, you should be moving there. Instead, it's France that make all the moves. Julie again with a double Mac 10 kill. 9 chances to close and a final Denmark timeout. But you look at the money, you look at what they're going to bring into this, you feel like France are just going to run away with this now.
Yeah, I don't want to say it was lost in the veto, but it certainly didn't help affairs.
Well, the thing is, the veto's so tough, I think, for Denmark.
Yeah.
So no matter where you go, this France team is really strong. There's a very deep map pool for France.
Yeah, the map you wanted was Vertigo. That was like the one map. But I do agree with you that Inferno probably would have been the better choice, in my view.
Yeah, I think so, especially because France perma Vertigo. Like, I feel like you got to go Inferno. He did take down the core of Na'Vi on Inferno.
Yeah, I imagine they feel that Ancient is their best map. You know, it's their favorite. It's the one they played so much in the qualifiers. They want to stick to what they know, but it's also a very good French map. And Julie continues her run. The Glock's out. The Glock is out, and Julie does not stop.
She got 20 kills.
She is outrageous here on Ancient, rolling back the years. At least Sugar Shock will get something back, but Ash is already there. They're doubled up in mid, charging through these 2 remaining CTs. Julie's ready to lock them out. She hears them coming. First is hers, and the second. Julie puts the kids to bed, and France take Ancient.
Unbelievable. So good from Julie. We speak about Rachel, we speak about Astra, Kaede, we even spoke about Emerald. The one player we didn't really mention was Julie, and she rises to the top of that scoreboard. Denmark, we said it once, we'll say it again, it feels like it has been lost in the veto, but it was so dominant from France. All of these really good mid-rounds put forward by Denmark, but they couldn't stick the landing.
I'm shocked with just Julie taking over that map so much. I mean, I even said at one point, oh, okay, I'm kind of surprised Julie's playing such a prominent kind of position. I'm no longer surprised. Yeah, put her in all the star roles. She clearly is an absolute superstar, and it's amazing seeing her step up because there's so much talent on this team, and I think this map is a statement for all the other teams watching. France are here to go all the way.
Yeah, they absolutely are, and look, the desk said we haven't seen France on the stage yet. They wanted them to be incredibly dominant coming into this. I mean, that is your opponent's map pick. That's a statement and a half, and if Ancient's anything to go by, I'm really concerned about the longevity of Denmark in this tournament now that Dust 2's around the corner.
Yeah, it's not over yet. Obviously, we still got another map, and Denmark did take it to Canada on Dust 2, so I won't write them off completely. Anyo actually was looking some decent in times over the AWP, so it's not done yet, but that was very convincing. What do you guys have to say?
A mega performance there from France. Again, we asked some questions before this. We said we haven't seen them on stream. They haven't actually played that many rounds of Counter-Strike, but our fears are now qualmed. They looked phenomenal. That was their opponent's pick. Didn't really put a foot wrong. France are here for the trophy, guys, aren't they?
Yeah, I think there's a reason why they haven't played many rounds of Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
They're just like hyper efficient. Just like don't really need that much leeway to get the job done. That was a battering, really. And again, really, like we sit here in the pregame, we talk about just about everyone on the French team except for Julie. Like she gets to mention as the veteran who might have to be a sacrificial lamb, and then she goes ahead and just has a star performance. So yeah, it just goes to show that France doesn't really have any weaknesses in their lineup.
Yeah, I mean, you heard the commentators talk about it and putting it perfectly. I was a little concerned when I first saw those CT positions, when Julie in a really important position, Emerald anchoring A, basically all the stars we talked about on the same site. I thought there could be weaknesses. There are absolutely not. They completely shut this down. We saw them going aggressive at times towards B and just taking the map away from Denmark.
Yeah.
And we did say it earlier, Denmark needed to earn the respect early, and clearly that didn't happen in enough of a way because France just run this over, and we didn't even have to see the stars massively show up from France. And that is a mark of a team that can go very far.
Of course, we come into this saying that Denmark's potential only advantage is that they have a core of players from the Astralis female team. Maybe they'll have more teamwork, maybe they'll have better chemistry. But frankly, guys, I'm not sure many of these rounds got to the point where they could show that chemistry because they were losing opening duels. France were taking so much map control on that CT side. Their roles look fabulous
This round.
It was just incredible. Perfect.
This D ground, I think this was a big
Sick.
moment. Yeah, this probably just pushed them over the edge and was a big turning point because they didn't have the best buy. And Emerald is one of the players, I don't think she's on a team right now, but she's like clearly very, very skilled on this team as well. And that's just a really nice sign for France. And I was hoping we'd get this France because I felt like if this France team played at their best, they're one of the teams I think that we could see go up against some of the favorites like a Poland and really take it to them just based on the talent that they have. And that's a sign to me that I think they are playing towards their best right now, and we're only just starting playoffs.
Yeah, again, I just like the fact that they have a very set approach as well. Like we didn't get to see their T side, obviously, but their CT sides, there's nothing really to pick at in that sense. I love the fact that they do decide to play aggressively throughout their CT side. They want to have that map control, and they want to maintain it as well. Like we see so many instances of teams having an aggressive move and then just not having any thoughts further to
Yes.
what they're meant to do in a round. And like in this instance, you could see that they clearly had a vision of blocking off like entire parts of the map from Denmark, and Denmark didn't really know how to deal with it. And the best part, in most cases, we did see a couple of passive setups from France, but in most cases, it's like, okay, you don't know how to deal with this, so we're just going to continue to do it. It's much of what you mentioned yesterday, the fact that if you find something that works, there's no real reason for you to go away from it until your opponent actually showcases that they know how to handle it. Like,
Yeah.
it's basically just like your opportunity to get as many free rounds as possible, so why not? You're here to compete, you're here to win. And I like that from France, and they dealt with the fact that, again, like on several occasions, they leave the A side open, but they do have their rotations once they establish the control in mid, once they establish the control in B lane. And I think that's really, really awkward to play against for a lot of the T sides.
Yeah, and as you say, all the skill in getting aggressive isn't actually the aggression, it's how do you move after that?
Yeah.
How do you rotate? How do you say, okay, I've got this control, I've got this info, how do I move? And this team has two in-game leaders, essentially. They've got Kaode, who we believe is calling, and then Astra, who is very capable of calling, we believe calls for Na'Vi Javelin. So there alone, you've got lots of leadership, lots of strong voices, and it looks like it's working. Whatever they're doing, they're making good calls, they're making good moves. This France team has a lot of good pieces.
Yeah, and even just the experienced players in there,
Yes.
like Julie, you're not going to have issues with her making wrong decisions, you wouldn't think. And, well, I guess if she's winning pretty much every fight,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter what decision she makes, but it's definitely a really good sign. I think for Denmark, I'm trying to like clutch at positives. It's tough. I think there were rounds towards earlier in the game where it felt at least somewhat close. I thought they might get more out of those rounds that they went towards A. There were a couple early on that actually looked pretty successful. And I was thinking, okay, this is maybe something they can exploit, something they can take advantage of. Because, you know, you're coming into this, you've gone for this pick, you think that they should have that ability to have done a little bit of prep work and say, hey, this is where we can take advantage. And maybe that was the game plan, and maybe it was just Julie playing so well that denied it. But yeah, there were moments where I thought, okay, you're actually finding the weak spot on the map. You're kind of avoiding the best players on Team France, but it just felt like it didn't matter still. Like we didn't really see any of the Danish players have that performance I know that they're capable of.
Yeah, and it's certainly needed, and they're obviously gonna have to show up in a better form going into Dust 2 as well. For me, again, a lot of it comes down to the same kind of formula as we've touched on with multiple games so far. You need to basically earn the respect of your opponents, not let them kind of just run around and do whatever they want. And that kind of felt like Denmark never got to the point in Ancient, or on Ancient at the very least, where France started to kind of get the fear in them. So France were still like pretty much doing whatever they wanted and not getting that much pushback from Denmark. And if Denmark's not able to do that on Dust 2 as well, we might get similar figures. But Dust 2 plays differently from
Yes.
Ancient, obviously, so I think it's going to be a lot tougher for France to be able to maintain that kind of map control and that kind of pressure on them the entire time, unless they choose to obviously go through Catwalk and Lower Dark consistently on their CT side. But that should be a little bit more, I guess, telegraphed. So Denmark should be aware of this being a possibility quite often.
Yeah, I think the other thing that I'm interested in is like, what side do you now choose to start on this map? Because like on Dust, you kind of normally would like to start on T side. I think normally.
I feel like I kind of just flip a coin at this
Yeah.
point. If I'm just like whatever it lands on,
Yeah.
I'll be okay with. Dust 2 feels like one of those maps where you can get stuck either way, like regardless if you're CT or T, you can get into that like, or you could get that avalanche, you know, coming running towards you that you're not going to be able to really topple. So yeah, I don't think they can really focus too much on sides. Like they're just going to have to do a better job regardless of what they start on. And again, like they didn't show anything from their CT side here on Ancient, so maybe that's going to be their reasoning for picking CT sides. The fact that they just want the chance to defend for once.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Like they maybe just want to get that CT side. It's just like on Dust 2, I guess it's changed slightly. It's a bit more CT sided now. It used to be you'd always want the T side, so they'll probably be okay with that. But yeah, I think the problem was if you do pick that T side again, it's like, okay, we just weren't getting anywhere. We weren't getting any map control. On Dust 2, it wouldn't be exactly the same, but I think, yeah, hopefully, I guess they should just start CT, honestly, and just, like, actually make France, like, have to run some rounds and just be,
Make
in
some
theory,
decisions.
yeah, in theory, a bit more comfortable in CT, but I think if you're struggling and you're on Dust 2 CT side, those rotations can be tricky. Knowing exactly the right move to make and having to play retake on A sometimes, that's not an easy thing to do. So I think whatever happens, they'll probably be a bit stressed.
Yeah.
I would love to find the person that could convince me that Denmark are going to come back in this series, because I'm finding it really hard right now. I need someone with just that positive. I need Avo. Avo could convince me with that positivity.
Yeah, her or Anders Bloom. One of those two.
And there's undeniable positivity. So Denmark did play Dust 2 in the groups. Double OT loss against Canada. So, I mean, at least we know they have position, strats, rounds they can run. But going into this second map, are we saying this is an individual deficit? Are we saying they need to up their game strategically, or on all counts?
Leaning towards all counts, but I think there was no doubt that Ancient, in very much of a sense, was just individual battles being won by France, just on every position for most parts of the game, really, regardless of whether you went towards A, mid, or B. Every French player just had a really solid game, didn't really mess up anything, and didn't leave anything wanting. So that just has to be better from Denmark, and I'm sure they are very well aware of it as well.
I guess that's the one positive I could take, is that I think that was not only like an underperformance of the Danish individuals, because they shouldn't be that far behind individually, but it's also just an overperformance of some of the French players you wouldn't expect to be that good. So I think that's what they've got to hope for, that was just like a one-off map from Julie, that we don't see that again, and that they can at least hang individually, because I think that was just the biggest problem. If you can't even hang individually, you've just got nothing in this series.
Dangerous waters then for Denmark. Dust 2 to follow. France, 1 map win from the semi-finals. Don't go anywhere.
Two quick games to kick off the quarterfinals here in Riyadh, because not only did France take down Denmark on Ancient, it was a quick dismissal of Australia on their map pick of Inferno. Lucy, Portugal looked pretty dominant there.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's no surprise that the Portugal, the favourites coming into this,
Yeah.
that was Australia's map pick there. I'm actually kind of surprised to go into Inferno. I didn't look fully at the
Yeah.
veto, but I thought Mirage might be more their comfort territory
I'd
after
say
what
so.
we're seeing from them. But, I mean, Inferno is still a classic Australian map, but
True.
I think it's one that sort of team on the Portuguese side can certainly punish you, especially with the experience those players have. So I hope they can bounce back. It's just 2 for their map too, which is also
Yes.
our second map. So definitely maps that I feel underdogs can actually upset on. However, I think going into this one, when we look at the French roster, everything points to them having a pretty dominant second map too.
Yeah, I'll be honest, there wasn't really too much that inspired me too much from Denmark there in map 1 on their map pick. It felt like wherever they went, they were just sort of being bullied off the map control. Individuals were just better, as the desk was saying, and you go into Dust 2, a very aim-intensive map. You expect it to follow suit. Also, you speak about underdogs potentially winning on Dust 2. That happened yesterday. I mean, Canada beat Denmark on Dust 2. Sure, Denmark came back from a 12-4 deficit, but ultimately, they did lose.
Yeah, is Canada the underdog in that matchup?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they got a Valorant player.
Yeah, I suppose that. Hey, so does Team France, okay? Rachel was a Valorant player until very recently. In fact, I think she might still play it a little bit. But I think the key things to why we're so excited, I guess, for this team on Dust 2 is it's 2 players. It's Astra, actually it's 3 players. It's Astra, Rachel, and it's Kaede. All right, we already kind of mentioned this before, but Astra and Rachel, as part of that Let Her Cook roster, dominant on this map. When it comes to Na'Vi Javelins playing Dust 2, Astra is always towards the top of the board. And then we've got Kaede, who again, and this is part of why Canada is so good on this map, because it's FlyQuest Red's home turf these days.
Yeah, they love picking into it, and I think FlyQuest are actually pretty good on Dust 2. I think Kaede's really good at getting herself into some very good areas where the AWP could often lock off just half the bomb site. I think positioning is queen for her on this map. I think for Denmark, look, we got to talk about individuals again. We got to look at Marie and we got to look at Ismo, because Marie was shooting back on Ancient. She just needs support from the rest of her team.
Yeah, she really got things started with a few of those opening rounds. Was the one that really started getting some work done for Denmark. I almost call them Astralis again. It's funny I do it with this team because it's not even like they're not even. It's only 2 of them that's still Astralis. But yeah, it's interesting whether, we have had, I guess, not the support around, because you do expect Ismo to really have a lot of room here. She's given those positions so that she can do damage. We saw her get a few nice lurk timings, but overall, it was mostly Marie doing the work.
Where it worked best, though, is when Denmark were sort of allowing that room to happen, because it's not really Ismo's fault if she's put in a position to succeed and then the rest of the team die within like the next 10-15 seconds. So it's on to Team Denmark to stabilize and move more as a unit to allow those spaces to work.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on Anya here as well, I think, with that AWP. That's something we highlighted as Dust 2 with Kaede being able to have a field day. You've got multiple secondary offers that can pick it up on France. You've got Emerald, Astra, both very proficient with the sniper. So Anya should want to get that early. They get the CT side start. They look to contest long.
Yeah, a big biff here about to occur. Rachel just on the edge of things, flashbang forward. You got to clear out the blue bin here if you're Denmark.
Yeah, they should anticipate that someone was here. I think there was a T-flash thrown, if I'm not mistaken, to allow Rachel out, and Ismo will get that kill.
Sharp shot, but France are going to scale off the back of it. They're going to try and go in towards short. Jewel Beretta's at range, but it's Kit Kat down low. Sugar Shock up high. It's really beneficial for Team Denmark. And Julie, she was amazing on map 1, but a 1v4 feels a little bit out of reach.
Yeah, this one might be a little too tricky. So many angles that she has to deal with. Surely be a matter of time. For Denmark, they really do want to keep all these players alive, especially they don't want Anya or Sugar Shock to actually take damage. You'd love that free head armor upgrade. So ideally, Ismo will be the one that finds this kill.
Look at how safe they're playing.
They really, I think they got a bit of shell shock from Julie last map. They don't want to give this up.
35.
No one's pushing you, Julie.
You gotta go. And once you find contact on one, the rest of the squad will swing. Please, this is just so, like, agonizing. Round the corner, Julie will find the first. And being given opportunities on the second. It's a dink, but it's not a kill. It was close, though. You can see it coming together.
Yeah, that got slightly scary for a moment. But Denmark will take the pistol. Finally get to start things off on the right foot. They're still feeling positive. That's good.
It's quite funny actually because the way that fight like transpired, you expect Kit Kat to be the one actually over at ramp with the Glock, and then the dual Berettas are closer, but it worked out anyway. It was completely fine. Full eco pretty much out of Team France. Their objective in this one is to try and get the bomb down. Marie rocking the scout is quite fun.
Yeah, I think she's on it just because Anya was able to buy head armor and get the M4 immediately, so she didn't want to waste money buying a scout. So she'll get the rifle out the gate, and they're just going to attempt to see if they can split through B, test it out early. She might have a chance of doing something here. Okay, it looked a little wild for a second, but Anya will control. Like the last two bullets connect onto both of them. And so as long as you leave nobody here, you've really done very well. Should be the case.
There it is. Important rounds for Team Denmark, just to act as almost a stable base. When you haven't had that much time just on the stage in general, that first map came at you and went away real quick. First full gun round about to enter the equation. All the AKs are now out for Team France. A little bit of an interlude before we get into the first full gun round.
Good news for Denmark, prioritizing those rifles early. I mean, they have 3 M4s into this round. No SMGs to worry about. The scout can still be pretty deadly.
I would like Anya and Marie to swap, though.
Yeah, I would like that as well. You really want Marie with the M4. Especially what she's shown so far at this event.
Vibes are good.
Yeah, it's nice. You know what? We're here for it. It's what made us love South Africa. The energy they brought to the room. Denmark, a little bit inspired maybe. But no one can be Avo.
True.
She's one of a kind.
Yeah, that was the amount of screaming. I'm surprised after 6 maps of CS, like her voice just didn't give out.
Yeah, mine almost did.
Let's speak a little bit about what France are going to show us on this T side, because it won't just be the quick B hits. They love prioritizing long on this map. I think the fact that you can get Kaede on these advanced angles pretty quickly will help out a lot. And you can have that scaling between Astra and Rachel. It's that duo again that just feels so comfortable in taking space on T side. That's what Denmark need to watch out for.
Yeah, it's cool that Julie is in good form too, because now you got 3 players that love to kind of get up in your face. So there's a lot that France can rely on here in terms of taking space. So expect Astra to play a lot more of an active role than we saw on Ancient. Not that we really got to see the T side. I think we sort of built up, you know, this aggressive France team, and we didn't really get to see it so much because there was like 3 T rounds played.
Yeah, we'll have a whole half of it though. For Denmark, it's all about controlling the chaos. Now you're on this CT side, you need to be ready to react. And I'm interested to see sort of what they bring into this, if they're going to push in towards tunnels, very much like South Africa did. We saw a lot of that yesterday, whether they'll control in towards short. I feel like where you've got, again, Marie and Ismo, like you can just deploy them to go and get space, go and fight for control. You've got really good supportive players in this Danish lineup. The way that Anya's been playing with the AWP as well, it does warrant a much more sort of helping out the team rather than setting up the AWP for success.
It's 4-0 start for Portugal versus Australia on Dust 2. They're on the T side. On map 1, you know, you mentioned the scoreline. D7, 1.90 rating. Zana, 1.80 rating, both on 19 kills.
Yeah, pretty good.
Caddy Jones, 1.45. BBM played pretty well. the only positive rating for Australia on that one, but it looked like the whole team kind of got shut out.
That's a really good sign for Portugal, actually. That obviously we speak quite a lot about Zana, D7, but for Catty Jones, she was really good on stage when we watched them, and is really good here. It's so important that it's quite similar to Team France, where you've got kind of your, I guess you call them fringe players, right? The players that are sort of trying to make their way onto the stage, that appear more frequently at events. Shining the spotlight on them as well. I think it's really good to see these players sort of coming into their own here, especially at a LAN event, and for many of them, their first big LAN event.
Yeah, I think that's one of the coolest things about the IESF events in general, because you do get all your known entities here, but because almost every big team in the women's CS is an international roster, it means that when they actually have to bring the national teams in here, they do have to fill out the ranks with some of the lesser known names. So it's really cool to get the spotlight on them. Obviously, Emerald here as well is one of those names, and she was brilliant on map one. It was surprisingly Emerald and Julie that were actually the the most impressive players for France on that map.
And I think, especially for Sugar Shock as well,
Yeah.
because that's a name like I'm not familiar with at all. I
No.
don't think I've covered her, and was unbelievable against Team Canada. A really heavy hitter in some of their earlier qualifier games as well. Good sign of things to come.
All right, guys, we don't know exactly when this tech pool is going to be resolved, so rather than sitting here waffling, we're going to go to a short break. When we come back, we'll get straight back into the action. Don't go too far.
You know I can't help but these, cause they know they can never touch these. So baby, let me talk my shit, or I might just throw another fit. You know I can't help but these, cause they know they can never touch these. So baby, let me talk my shit, or I might just throw another fit. I might just throw another fit. I might just throw another fit. You know I can't help but these, cause they know they can never touch these. So baby, let me talk my shit, or I might just throw another fit. You know I can't help but these, cause they know they can never touch these. So baby, let me talk my shit, or I might just throw another fit. I might just throw another fit.
And we're back. Sorry about the delay there, guys, but we finally can have the first gun round of our second map here. On the other stream, the community ones, 2Tap Tony is covering the Australia-Portugal game. I'll be watching that just whilst we're on the break. It's a pretty fun one. Australia are coming back into it a little bit. I think Portugal just won the next gun round.
Okay, well, we'll keep a close eye on that one. So no, I will be. Let's see what France bring out with the guns. Pretty standard thus far. Seeing if Denmark get aggressive anywhere. About as default as you can really hope for.
Yeah, nothing too complicated really going on. Long control been established by Denmark. A couple of grazing blows, maybe exchanged through the smoke, but no bullets really connecting. Marie with the scout lets them know out long, even a flash forward to try and do more damage. There's blood on the wall, but there's only 15 points inflicted to Emerald.
Yeah, it's like a slight nick on the hand, a paper cut inflicted by the scout. Smoke lands at a annoying time. Marie will reroute so that she can hold close here. This is a little spooky for her. You don't know if Rachel could be very close here. She will drop the flash forward. Rachel dodges it, and now she does let her know Marie is sticking around. Okay, now she will drop off.
Yeah, this is interesting. France, it felt like they wanted to just disguise the mid to B and then go from short and long, but because they didn't really get the interactions they're hoping for, they're now going to reset. They were thought about mid to B again, but Julie got caught off guard, so it has to be short. It's the only bit of map control they've got.
Yeah, they want to have this CT player focused on that potential cross so that they can have a slightly easier path through short, but Marie is not making it easy. KitKat by her side has delivered another frag. And then Ismo catches Emerald. This gun round is flawless from Denmark.
Yeah, really well played. And that's because they didn't give France anything. France were really hoping that there'd be an aggressive maneuver that they could potentially punish when they dropped the mid to B utility. Really hoping that Denmark were going to react in a way they didn't. Kaede just about gets away, doesn't die after time. So we'll keep the AK and we'll at least keep somewhat of an economy.
Yeah, nice stuff. Marie makes work of that scout. And you will bring the AWP out now. We have a saved AK. This is actually really awkward for France because obviously no loss bonus means that the rest of the gang will be on the pistols. Might be a faster one to beat. Oh, Anya catches Emerald on the jump. And you've got a lot of defenders over here to deal with this.
Yeah, Anya can even come and help out with supportive utility. France, they're going to take a minute just to breathe. It's all about timing. When do they want to hit in towards this B site? When do they feel like it's the best moment to go? With that molly, you now know that Kit Kat's out short and taking the control, so it might have to be in a few seconds.
Yeah, you know that Denmark know you couldn't really be too many other places, so it's going to be really tough to break through. 2 defenders and the AWP isn't far away, still plenty of utility for the CTs to throw out as well. They keep the guns out as they enter in. The Molotov does some good damage, they force their way through it, and between the two of them they have cleaned house.
Yeah, well done by Anya. One thing you're going to get with just Danish players is their utility is going to be spot on. And Anya's immediately putting the molly, the flashes in towards tunnels so that everyone else on the site can just have their guns up.
Beautiful stuff. Flawless as well. No single point of damage inflicted by France with that one. Okay, they somehow managed to get herself an AWP after that. And she'll make quick work of it.
Yeah, it's actually only Kaede and Julie at the moment that have got kills for Team France in 5 rounds of play. So Denmark, they'll actually just give over this space. They say, okay, France, you can have long, we'll look elsewhere. Prioritization now looks to be in towards middle with Marie and Kit Kat.
Denmark look for information in middle. Ismo pushes down short. And then the swing into lowest. Kit Kat really wants to take this fight. Astra decides not to contest it, and for a good call. Long's going to be a big issue for them.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it's actually quite scary for Denmark that they spotted Astra and there was a couple of blows exchanged, just because it's quite typical at the moment to go and look for space in towards mid. If you don't see anything, you know it has to be this long play, and you can reset and juggle your forces over. Instead, Rachel's now scaling with Julie basically on their own, and Denmark has still got to split the defense.
Cat under pressure. That Molotov took so long to go out. I felt unfair, but the smoke does land, gives them some room to play around. Kit Kat's so low, surely going to be removed here. Rachel will be the one that does it. Ismo found her mark though, so still a chance here. The AWP is lurking in middle low. Bomb needs to go down and just about allowed, but flustered are these defenders. Marie takes down 2 and Kaede can't get involved. It's the young guns from Astralis on this Danish team that shine.
Yeah, really well done from Ismo, because she is jiggling the angle and then only takes the shot when Sugar Shock is in position to be able to guarantee that kill. She was lurking right around underneath that pillar, but it's Ismo that takes all of them. And good work by Marie on the follow-up. Kaede's lurking there in towards short with the AWP. That feels a bit dodgy.
Yeah, they had a second lurker. I think Ismo caught her, and so then Kaede decided to take over that position rather than going long with the AWP. But you kind of value her chances more if it's posted up for long for her to be there.
It was planted for long as well.
Yeah, it's a little interesting decision. I think she didn't anticipate all her teammates just to die. You know, remember, this is a 5-on-4 that France had.
They just couldn't get beyond the bomb site. Team Denmark let them have control, but being pressured in from both CT and short at the same time felt really uncomfortable. And whilst France felt like they had space, they really didn't.
Ismo out here sitting 6-0. That was a huge round from her. We asked some more Ismo after map 1, and we're getting it.
Faster play again, out long. Anya fires off the AWP. There's a little bit of spam from Emerald on Kaede, but France are going to use this smoke to scale. Look at how quick this is.
They're just going to play around it. Kaede's looking for that kill. Rachel on her leg timing finds success with Ismo.
That's a bit frustrating because it feels like one player on short is deliberately supposed to be looking unders.
Anya will answer back though, down long, so they have a read on these players slowly scaling. Imagine the T's won't peek too close here. PG over, see if that reveals anything. Doesn't quite. More utility doing a lot of damage, and the alert was spotted. Asher removes Anya, so gives some space for France on the bomb site. The Denmark have been suffocating. They've not made this easy for France to get into A.
Yeah, good molly by Marie, because that means that Kit Kat can now come through from CT, and Sugar Shock is here as well. They heard the jump, but they can't get the kill, and instead it falls to Astra. A 1v3, knows where both of these players are, and just needs to try and isolate. Crossing the bomb back over without a smoke is going to prove tricky, but with Sugar Shock playing passive, and with Marie disengaging, the bomb site is Astra's.
Yeah, they're giving her a lot of respect here, and I guess for good reason. Tap on the bomb, but the swing isn't going to come. They're waiting for that commit. They've got all the utility to go for the retake, so they're fine with the bomb going down here. Astra will plant safe. And now the CT should start to make moves. Astra now known on the side, half HP note. Sugar Shock starts to make her moves forward. HE over, doesn't quite hit the mark, but Astra does well. Good job of isolating these fights, but she can't get past Marie. Creeps forward and takes her head clean off.
Yeah, well done by Marie. Just immediately, as soon as that contact is taken with Sugar Shock at CT, she moves past the common angle, keeps her head tucked, and Astra can't reset back. I think Astra did really well in that situation. She was so worried about a potential of Long being flanked by Marie after Marie left short in the first place. She's the nade coming over from Sugar Shock. That's unlucky. You feel like you've got Astra winning that, honestly, 9 times out of 10. Instead, it's Denmark 6-0 against Team France.
Now Astra's even got the headshot angle. Now Marie gets aggressive. They managed to get Astra out long this time, so she gets past the smoke. Rachel going very fast. It's a bit more of what I expected from Team France, but KitKat's holding strong for it. KJ, oh sorry, Julie will overwhelm. That's a lot of information. So many players going. Great HE. Bomb drop that will slow down the progress of France.
Yeah, and Ismo knows that Astra's locked in. So throws a smoke back on the long doors. It keeps Astra here. Where do you go? Ismo's really worried about the players on site, so needs the players in top mid to help her, but instead they ignore Astra and they go back in towards short. Ismo comms this. She has to be behind you. Someone's got to clear this for Denmark.
Yeah, that smoke is so good for allowing Ismo to focus on one angle, but she's still not focused on it. Okay, Kaede thought maybe she got down into the pit. Maybe a miscom there. Molotov is good, but Julie standing in front just about finds that gap for a moment. It all onto Astra again. She doesn't even get a chance.
Yeah, you have to know that because Astra was the player that had left over at Blue Bin. Ismo hadn't seen that player come back at long.
Whose map pick is this?
Supposed to be France's.
Feels like an inverse. Some fight from Denmark. They got plenty of reps on this map versus Canada.
True.
Put through their paces.
They're playing really well. Good example of communication there.
Yeah, comms are on point. Their movements around the map, they've always been where they need to be to deal with France.
Just it's surprising because you think the individuals on Team France would be performing a lot better than this.
Yeah, I'm really surprised.
But it's a pleasant one for Team Denmark. Now it's even more aggression. If you can't rush, you got to rush harder. Say Team France. They got the space through upper tunnels. They now look to go in towards short, but 2 players lie in wait. One of them's the AWP.
France definitely going to be contesting this. Rachel peeks up. Molotov is good. Isolates, but it doesn't matter. KitKat's forced forward, but she'll take the fight to you. And now Ismo getting involved from below. Huge spray down. Ismo lets them know. 10 frags on her and Marie. The rest of the gang are not even that far behind. I thought this would be a blowout, but I thought this would be the other direction.
I'll tell you what, what's really cool here is we're now seeing Marie and Ismo just standing and taking fights. And to be honest with you, this was the thing that I think plagued them a little bit in Astralis, and I think started to plague them at the start of this tournament. It was the lack of confidence. And you feel like the way that they play, you just let them go and fight. Like that should be the bread and butter of Marie and Ismo. Give them that freedom and say, look guys, we know you've got the individual mechanics. Go and show it, and they are on Dust 2.
Yeah, such young players, right? It's all about building that confidence early. Ismo just 17. We got to see exactly why we get excited for this name in that round. What did France do here?
They've tried everything as well, right? They've tried the aggressive play in towards B, shut down by Anya's utility, the crossfire in sight. You try and go out towards long, Ismo's locking you down. You want to go in towards short, well, hey, Anya's there alongside Marie. It's really tough for Team France. They're going to go back to basics here. They're going to try and breach B once more.
Yeah, see if the half bike can find success again.
They've read into this, Denmark. They know the economy is not in the greatest state of affairs. 2 players start B. Ismo's already pushing long. Look at all this info now for the CTs.
They've had such a good read on this entire map.
It did feel that way on Ancient though as well though, right?
That's true, yeah. Got to give them the edge. They know exactly what the play is going to be, but this time they're able to handle it a lot better. And Ismo's push, yeah, from behind. It's a little messy at long range. A little dink does damage. KitKat tries to support. She's been loud about it, but it doesn't matter. Oh my god.
I'll tell you what, in a few of these rounds, especially on T side, France have been sort of telegraphing where they want to go, at least with a little bit of utility. And as soon as Denmark don't see any utility whatsoever, they're just pushing. They're just taking all of the space. That's what happens in this round with Long. It's almost like, I don't see anything, I don't hear anything, I'm gone. Kaede this time wanted to fight the mid-doors cross, doesn't happen, and Marie gets in towards unders.
Yeah, I don't think they know she's here. They want to split onto tunnels, so...
This is a real variance in terms of the pace of map control being taken, and by doing this so late into the first half, again, I think this is something that France don't expect.
Yeah, Astra is semi-aware this control could have been taken. In fact, she's got a beautiful timing to walk back in. Kaede catches Ismo looking. France very passive in this round, and so Denmark are looking for answers. First time, well actually not the first time we've seen France get an opening kill, but let's see if it's the first time they can convert it into a round.
Marie's on a timer here between looking at lowers. She's just seen the lurk, so she knows that Astra's here. Go try and take the fight straight to her. Astra not ready. Trade immediate, and now KitKat hiding at the other end of the double doors, but it's Sugar Shot caught with utility.
Timing's not good, and France look to accelerate. Flashbang, brilliant. Anya can't quite hit the flick. Reposition will connect that one, but out from long comes Rachel. KitKat, at least in short, has been really proactive in pushing. So a 2-on-2, the bomb being planted. Rachel makes sure that no one can get close to disrupt. This is the best position France have been in a moment, but it doesn't get any easier. KitKat finds another. It's all up to Rachel, and she can't find a kill. Even when France find all the space, when it looks like they've got an opportunity, Denmark to slam it in their face.
Yeah, that's momentum, but also that is every player having info on everyone in that round. You know one's on site, you know one's at long. At the same time for Denmark, you know one was in short because KitKat got that kill, and Marie's shooting from CT. So Team France, Rachel tries to skirt over, dodge Marie, and fight and isolate a 2v1 onto KitKat, but it's KitKat being proactive over the top of the smoke.
It's just crazy because it feels like, you know, on such a puggy map, with Denmark playing such a structured style CS, you expect France just to be able to run around and shoot people. It's like the opposite to how Ancient played out.
Could this be the first you-know-what of the tournament?
No. Another opening kill.
We've learned that doesn't matter.
Twice now, Denmark have converted those 4 and 5s.
This is an interesting setup, actually, because Denmark are so convinced that France is going to go into a mid to B that they have left A completely open. KitKat now looks to scale back in, but France have hit a really good short timing.
Yeah, you got to take some risks when you're in this sort of position. HE will get the kill, but yeah, not anticipating that they're that far scaled up.
Now watch out for lowers.
If they find this kill on Astra, there's a chance, but no, Astra's timing phenomenal. This one's certainly France's first round. Doesn't seem like there's any way in. Shock and Marie will give it a go. They've got all the money, no reason not to. And found one back, but brought down low. Marie now moves forward. No smoke does make this incredibly difficult. Rachel dealt with. Oh, ho, ho, Marie! Oh my God!
They've won.
No way! No way! Oh my God! Denmark took it. There's absolutely no way.
That is magnificent from Marie. Like, are you joking me? 2 pixel peaks, 2 headshots collected, 11 rounds on the board for Denmark.
Marie is her. What?
Oh my God.
That was, everything went right for France there.
Well, it didn't.
They made the right call. It was into short. They had, it was a 2 on 4.
I can't believe it. I am gobsmacked. I'm sugar shocked. Like 11-0. And now a boost for this AWPer on towards short. Denmark are leaving deliberate gaps all the time in the defense, only to come and reclaim the space later.
We've seen some wild retakes, but that one,
That's insane.
it's kind of unforgivable for France.
That cannot happen. But that is when you've got momentum on your side. That's when you've got individuals on full confidence.
Yeah, Astra just not there to help out early enough. Gizmo, behind side, spotted. This has been the one successful avenue, these A hits, but it's the post plants that have been a struggle. Again, an opening kill, but that is meaningless it feels, but two you think should be enough.
Yeah, and they're out of position. Marie was pushing in towards upper B. Ismo will hold onto the site.
There's no chance, surely. Not this one. France poised to get one at the tail end. It's all onto Ismo, stuck backside. But they're just running her down, and they will. France at least get a little bit of something at the tail end.
Yeah, but it needs to be a whole lot of something else on the other side, because one round on your T side, when it's poised, that you come into this, you frame it, look, France should have the better individuals, but no, I think Denmark have been brilliant because they've always been in control. They've been setting the tempo when they want to go for this map control, leaving gaps deliberately open to then reset with the pack. It's been really impressive CT sides.
I'm in shock.
Yeah, that makes you and me both.
What a performance. Marie, Ismo, Kit Kat.
It's everyone. It is everyone coming in with these huge moments.
Out long they go. Astra will spot some. We know she's got a mean hand with the USP. They've got the utility for the long cross.
Yeah, on the inverse, France have no utility. They've got a kit now on Kaede. But that's it. At least they've got info. They now know this with the smoke, but they've also got tunnels control. That does mean they're out of position. Flashbang really good on Judy, but she doesn't fall.
Oh, the way she shoots around the edge of the smoke to try and find that as well. Very cheeky. Astra has to be cleared. Ismo not going to peek it, but now Astra reveals herself with a kill. Kaede as well. And it does look like the CTs will start to run them down. Kit Kat gets a kill back. Marie as well. Marie's been pretty good, but not quite that good. France will take the pistol. Maybe they can build up something here a little bit more respectable.
Yeah, at least make it look a little bit more competitive. That's probably another one of those interesting decisions. Say comms are on point for Denmark, and obviously they have been with the amount of rounds, but there are certain sort of inconsistencies, especially with Ismo, because here it looks like she wants to take the site, whereas the rest of the team wants to play a little bit more passive. If she had that second player there with her push-in, Astra gets cleared, and then maybe they can double swing on towards short. Instead, she's completely on her own and she gets isolated.
Interesting decision not to force buy here, given they got the bomb plant, but I guess they've got so many rounds to work with that they just want to get those guns out ASAP and try and finish it cleanly. Go for a similar second round that Team France did when they ecoed. But it's surely with the MP9 in a prime position to get plenty of frags. Bree will, again, add a kill to the tally. She's always good for one. But they only lose Julie.
As you said, that was just the eco. Let's see what this gun round can bring, because the buy is going to be better for Team Denmark than it will be for Team France. Only a couple of MP9s sort of weaved into this purchase. Let's see, I imagine Denmark are going to take it pretty measured, fight for long control. They did that on the pistol. Look how aggressive this is from France. I'm glad that even sort of staring at defeat here, sort of being bullied quite a lot on that CT side, they're still playing their own brand of CS.
Yeah, they're not slowing down on this push either. Towards top middle they go. Rachel gets flashed forward. She wants this fight and she'll get it, but not the outcome she hoped for. Emerald though, nice little bit of control to remove one, but Anya is really dealing with all her teammates. Emerald surely will be able to trade this, and this is the bomb as well. Anya needs help. She will get it. In fact, she didn't need the help. Anya got the kill.
Yeah, and now you can take this anyway. You still got this control from Marie in towards lower, so you can reset, you can bring the bomb back. Ismo is having lots of contact out towards long, so if you're Denmark, safer players to go to the other side.
Julie, here's Ismo, catches her in the end of that reload. Ryan's definitely in a good position to still pull this one through with Astra over at B. Julie is watching the cross from CT2 with low HP on Anya. It's going to be a lot relying on Sugar Shock here, ensuring this trade.
Yeah, I don't think Marie saw the timing. And now Julie's being loud. You need to clear this position, but there's that low HP. Astra tucked in the corner. Sugar Shock needs the kill and can't get it. Marie will at least find Julie, but it puts it into a 1 versus 1. 20 seconds left. And whilst Napalm's exchanged both ways, Astra's now relocated. Marie, it's on her to go over the top and find Astra. But where on earth has she got to? In the smoke? No, it's behind the double box. Marie needs the kill but can't find it. It's Astra right when Team France need her the most.
Yeah, great stuff from Team France. It's a bit more of what we anticipate from them. Astra stepping up after a quiet map 1. She's really the only one that's having a pretty decent game here. It relied so much on her. She got not only the low HP player, but a clean kill onto the second. And then that 1v1 doesn't get too flustered with all the utilities being thrown over. You could anticipate off that flash that she might push through the smoke, but no, she just holds her ground.
It's actually a crazy time when she hits the cross back over because Marie was in lowers, walked out mid to see it and try and hold if anyone had crossed, and Astra had already gone.
Timeout for France. Denmark again onto a low buy. Gonna check in on that Australia game, Brandon. See what's happening over there. Oh,
What?
it's done, unfortunately.
Oh, GG.
Yeah.
And congratulations to Team Portugal.
Commiserations. Australia.
It's
Fast,
aggressive.
very fast, but the MP9 and M4, it's a little scrappy, not quite as good as the hold of Denmark, but Rachel does a decent job. They're okay with that. 2-fall of the round for France.
Yeah, more than enough. A no bomb plant for Team Denmark either. Not going to matter, they saved enough money to get Anya on the AWP. Denmark just needs to relax just a little bit. You know what Team France are going to do. You know the brand of Counter-Strike that they're going to play. You did such a good job on that CT side of punishing the aggression. Now you need to do it again, just on the other side of the map.
France get full long control. We have AWPs out on both sides as well. That middle smoke is going to cause some concern. Rachel up close. This could be the first fight. Cat's going to throw mid speed. Rachel well ahead of this. Molotov go close. No, so Rachel has some space to work with and a great timing to swing through. First is hers. Can't convert the second, so at least the trade is there.
Yeah, really surprised that they weren't aware of that. The molly flew so close and landed so quickly. But at least there's a trade. That's the important thing here for Denmark. A flash off the angle doesn't affect Kaede. She can remain rooted.
Yeah, I went a little wild. So Kaede's in a great position and has that support out long. You can see the bomb is really towards T-spawn. Denmark haven't committed to a decision, but now it does look like it's going to be a B split, and that is looking like the right call. Emerald is alone on B.
Yeah, they have the info as well, right? You've heard Kaede fire off it in towards short. Is there a break on this smoke for France? There is. And Kaede walks over. Flashbang forward, but it's Kaede through the smoke instead. Ismo starts scaling. Unfortunately for Denmark, Marie finds that. And what on earth is that from Ismo? A second from her. Team Denmark finally are going to break the deadlock.
Unbelievable. She's fully blinded and finds that first kill. Controls it onto the second. Emerald falls with nothing to her name. Astra giving it a good shot. And you know she's going to go for this. Kit and smoke available. In fact, just drops the smoke forward to try to find some space to scale out with around the edge. Looking to isolate one of these fights. The old backside, Astra surely revealed to it, but a missed shot. But it's actually a distraction. It allows Marie to swing through. Again, Ismo delivering.
Important kill from Marie on site, but Ismo doubling down in middle is something that France did not anticipate. She had no right to win both of those fights, but does it anyway.
The first was outrageous. That was against a rifler too. It's not left France in a good spot. They're going to get aggressive though, and Julie gets the opening kill. They can just retreat.
You've seen a player over at mid doors, but Emerald could still push in towards lowers. KitKat has got to be careful. Ismo in the smoke by long. So is Kaede. They're walking past each other. And it's unfortunately not going to go the way for Ismo. Kaede will find that one. It's a two-player advantage for France.
I wonder what the percentage for opening kills for France is this round, this map, because it feels like they get a lot. It's the conversions that have been a struggle. So don't count Denmark out, Marie. Oh, that was a chance. Oh, okay.
Right.
Goodbye, Kaede.
Look at B. Right now, look at this. Rachel looking for KitKat. Did she spot her on the tunnels cross?
I think she's aware, surely.
Has to be, by the way she's jiggling it, but KitKat gets the best of Rachel. That's the B bomb site unlocked, but where did Denmark want to go?
I think they're going to go to A still. They don't have the position. So Emerald's going to go info hunting, and KitKat's going to come back. Again, KitKat could find the critical kill if she's ready for Emerald, and she is. That's huge.
Look at Astra. Astra's still tucked in at car this entire time. Julie's also found KitKat. You've seen a player out short. You imagine one's rotated. Anya, it's a half clear, but it's Astra versus Marie. And with 20 seconds left, Julie has dropped down in towards the lower site. She's not on short anymore. Marie needs to clear everything, and she does! Team Denmark win Dust 2!
Unbelievable scenes. Marie, of course, it is her to close. A lights out performance from her. Ismo as well. In fact, the whole damn team was there. KitKat in that last round. Critical frags. Again, a round where France find the opener, but they can't close. Denmark outclassed them.
Yeah, KitKat was amazing in that last round. Just took the risk, sort of broke away from the traditional style of play for Team Denmark, but the individuals were just on that game. That was unreal.
That is the best game I've ever seen Marie play. Like, that was just a sight to behold. It's good to see Ismo as well, just consistent alongside her. There was a point where both were on like 10 kills and like a death or two each. That's the Denmark we hope to see in the server. That's the Denmark I kind of expected to see on Ancient a little bit more of. I anticipated how one-sided that first map was, that maybe the energy just wasn't there, but they proved us wrong.
Yeah, they did, and it's really good. So I'm really glad we are getting this competitive affair, and Team France have now got to go back and they've got to reset, because in a game such as this, momentum's so heavy, and now it's with Team Denmark. Guys, what on earth do you make of that?
Good question, Brandon. Denmark win in emphatic fashion after an 11-0 start. Chaps, I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that was the most surprising map of the tournament by a long shot.
Yeah, that was definitely unexpected. We were, well, pretty set on the idea that France would kind of just continue the steamroll and work through Dust 2 without too much of an issue. That was definitely not the case. So kudos to Denmark for delivering a masterclass on that CT side. Again, just wonderful mixture of aggression, putting on pressure on a team that didn't necessarily know how to play out of it. Obviously, not having comfortable amounts of map control and whatnot. So that was Denmark just dominating from start to finish, with everybody contributing.
Yeah, this was, I guess, the risk of France going for this Dust 2 pick.
Yep.
Not a map they've played too often, and not a map I think they're generally like leaning towards. So seeing them go for this, I think they tried it as a punish here because Denmark lost it against Canada yesterday. But you can see sometimes if you're not that well prepared on a map, you might come into it thinking you've got some cheeky little ideas and ways that you're going to win rounds, but it's an entirely different thing actually pulling that off in the server. And I think you saw that for France here. A lot of the early parts of the rounds were just falling apart. They weren't getting into positions on this T side to actually commit to any of the strats they might have had in mind. And so they just get shut down, and Marie and Ismo deserve massive credit. They were both popping off early. Marie had some crazy rounds, just headshots all over the place, and 11-0 up at one point. I mean, we were thinking of the 13-0. Didn't quite happen.
Yeah.
Astra showed up towards the end. That's the one good thing for France, but it's pretty much the only good thing France can take away from
I got a little bit, I have to admit, I got a little bit worried once we saw France starting to get going on that second half, but then you had the double kill from Ismo in mid there. The first one, as I think it's Julie coming through the smoke and CT spawn, just completely blinded, still nails the headshot. Kind of just seals the deal really for Denmark in that fashion. And obviously fantastic round from KitKat in that final round as well, being able to kind of somehow sneak all the way up into the face of Rachel on that B bombs, and then having the wherewithal to actually just go back into dark and cut off rotations and yeah, basically selling that B take that wasn't a B take.
Let's go back to reflecting on that first half, because France did have man advantages in those first couple of gun rounds, and it was just carnage, absolute chaos. I assume the communication was all over the shop because they didn't look like the solidified unit that we saw on map 1, and you'll know this, Vendetta, it doesn't take much to go wrong for CS to go from looking great to looking disastrous. It's only a few mistakes, a few missed pieces of communication, a bit of hectic calling, and that's what it can look like.
Yeah, it swings very, very quickly. It's like a thin red line, really, and the second you step over, it looks like a hot mess, which is unfortunate, but because it's true, what you mentioned, right? Like, France got into positions where they did get opening kills, much like they did on Ancient, but again, we talked about this, being able to play off of your advantages or actually knowing what to do in that situation. They did not have a similar kind of game plan, or at least it didn't seem that way for Dust 2. But again, this is also due to the fact that we are seeing a much, much better Denmark on Dust 2 than what we saw on Ancient from just an individual level.
Yeah, you could kind of see the cohesion and timings, and definitely just the comms clearly for France were uncomfortable a lot of moments there when you got towards the bomb sites, and I think it was partly because there was just enough chaos that Denmark were causing. They maybe have a smoke down that just completely throws something different into the plan that France would have had in mind, and then suddenly you all have to react in a similar way. You can't just, you know, just assume your teammates are going to follow you. You have to know exactly what you're going to do, and that feels like it's maybe what happened here for France. They maybe were coming into this game with the plans in mind, and then as soon as something goes a little bit off on the server and there's something different, they didn't necessarily all have the same protocols on how to respond to that, and you wouldn't have the timings quite right, and then suddenly you go 11-0 down and you're wondering, why did we pick Dust 2?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Dust 2, never been a big fan of it as your own map pick, and this is one of the fears, again, because you can be a good Dust 2 team in practice, and you can have good officials on it and whatnot, but it still is volatile. Like it's still a difficult map to like purely master, and I don't think we've seen that, you know, in Tier 1 CS for, you know, the last 15 years, like a team that you can call Dust 2 aficionados in that sense. Like, it's extremely rare, so having that as your go-to pick, a little bit odd, especially given that we've seen France play a lot of maps so far, and again, they've steamrolled on most of them. So maybe this is a bit of a learning experience for France as well, a bit of a humbling moment in that sense. But it doesn't necessarily get easier, because obviously going into Inferno, that's one of the maps where we've seen Denmark actually take it to someone like Poland, who, again, we've seen as big favorites for the tournament as well. So they kind of need to right their wrongs pretty quickly.
So Inferno, of course, is the map of the fundamentals. It is the map of communication. It's the map where if you're T-side and you see free B, you have to go A immediately.
Leg it A,
you have to react. You have to be quick and you have to be decisive. We obviously didn't see that from France on map 2. So is that our big question now for map 3? Is can they clean up these comms? Can they mid-round better? Because Inferno demands that.
It really does, and I'm actually going to be quite curious to see how it pans out, obviously, with what team starts on what side for this. I think that could actually have a pretty significant impact. Now we've seen that Denmark seem pretty confident in, or pretty comfortable at least, with playing CT sides. Dust 2 obviously a little bit of an anomaly in that sense. You're not going to have the same kind of freedom on Inferno, but still, like, we have a lot of unanswered questions. Like, we haven't seen the most fantastic T sides out of Denmark on Ancient. Obviously, they didn't need to have one on Dust 2, but if they get started on T-side Inferno, are they going to get bogged down? Are they going to get locked out and not have an idea of how to kind of just slow play it and creep onto sites and basically play methodical? Or if that's going to be the issue for France. Like, again, bit up in the air.
Yeah, I think they should be okay here. I get the feeling that that's just a position where you're playing a Dust 2 kind of for the first time in the tournament. You haven't really got the actual match reps on it. So maybe it was going well in practice, and then just on the actual server, when you get into the match, it's a different thing. I think they have enough runs and reps on Inferno to say that they should be fine with the basic team play and the basic fundamentals. And if I were France, that's what I'd be saying here. I'd be saying, okay, listen, we kind of knew we were going a little bit left field. Initially, I thought it was actually kind of a smart pick because it was a weakness earlier for Denmark, but I think maybe it's almost maybe like respecting Denmark a little too much, because I think the thing that France was scared of here is that they share a lot of maps. So like in Anubis, for example, Denmark have been very good on. It's a map that France like as well. But if I'm France, I'm probably actually saying, I think we're the better team. I don't think we need to introduce this element of a Dust 2. And I was hoping that they would have it really like locked in and nailed on, and that's why they picked it. Didn't seem that way. Maybe it was in practice, but it certainly wasn't here on the server.
Leading the way, same way, Vendetta. Are we still thinking France to win this 2-1?
Yeah, even though it was a very impressive showing by Denmark here on Dust 2, I think we're going to return a little bit to normalcy in that sense, and I do think France will get the better of them in the end on Inferno.
All great series end on Inferno. One map remains, winner to the semi-finals. We'll be back in a flash.
Well, there's no problem. If you had a gun, shoot him in the head.
This gun was loaded when he was brave, boys. Decided to go for the run. Just a fire. Just a fire. This gun was loaded when he was brave, boys. Decided to go for the run. Just a fire. Just a fire.
What a surprise Denmark have been today. They got wiped out on their map pick and they bounced back with a fury on map 2. They destroyed France. An
Yeah.
11-1 half. Took a little bit to finish the job, but overall they were the better team hands down.
Yeah, they were, and it was quite funny because me and you stepped outside, and within like 10 meters of each other, it's Team France just up high, and then Denmark down low. They are really close to each other outside in the break.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're all speaking different languages,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, it was an incredible upset. We go to Inferno now, our
Yeah.
deciding map. It's an interesting one for multiple reasons. Obviously, for the Danish team, they come into this not only off the high of having just won Dust 2, but they also beat Team Poland on this map,
They
and
did.
we know that for Na'Vi, that's their best map. They were
Yeah.
undefeated this season until they played it versus Dreamcatchers, and obviously Astra is here in the server, so
Yes.
you know she'll have a lot of insight into how to approach Inferno. But the fact that they were able to beat Team Poland on it gets me very excited.
It really does. It's actually really interesting as to where you want to go, especially with Team Denmark winning knife, choosing CT. I think that is a really, really big boost for them.
We saw how good the CT side was on Dust 2. What a shock it would be. Marie will jump over, and she'll get the information, doesn't want to overface. A lot of players there, but there is support from Long. 3 players lie in wait.
Oh, they're walking in.
Flashbang play, they go for the fight, and Astra able to take down one, but she gets removed. Marie continuing the dominance from Dust 2. Kayde will answer back, and a gush onto Sugar Shock. With Emerald finding that kill, there's space onto A.
Yeah, good work from Emerald. Just goes in towards apps, make sure that Marie can't really get up to too many antics. For Sugar Shock, you're on 2 HP. You got to make sure that Ismo is ready for you, but Emerald is ready for you instead. Bomb just about making its way over. Ismo can't deny this, but maybe she can make something happen in the retake.
It's going to be tough. She has a smoke, but that's really it. And they're not going to give her this opportunity. Should be a disciplined post plant. Just Julie firing off shots. Smoke, waiting for that swing. Needs to be instant, not quite connecting. This looks to be France taking the pistol. Ismo going to run down. Julie kind of has a point to prove. She won't be in this round, but round will be theirs nonetheless. France on the board.
Yeah, I think they win the rounds due to 2 things. I think Denmark, oh, nice shot. I think Denmark overstay a little bit when they go for that flash play. They're still hanging around mid. Marie's really fighting almost to her death, and Emerald walking through apartments gives France that little bit of extra space. Another prong in the top bracket attack. It's enough to get the pistol round on the board. That's got to be a good feeling. T-side immediately getting started here for Team France. I'm really glad that they didn't sort of change the way that they were playing. They didn't sort of get scared into playing a little bit more default. They're still playing the French branded style of CS. Everyone is here on this B-bomb site. Julie has just got in with the MAC-10, has seen 2 and thinks, guys, that's enough. They're probably stacking here.
Yeah, she'll continue to play reconnaissance. I know we saw her outside. She was joking about these 16-year-olds that are trying to put her in her place.
It's quite funny, actually.
Twice the age of some of these players. Just like me, for real. Getting owned by kids on Dust 2.
Anya still managed to find one with the USP, but traded instantly. That's probably the biggest threat in the round for France. Bomb down. Denmark are going to try a boost here. There's no flashbangs to go through the smoke. Astra's even holding for it. Should just be the tap-in now. Astra with the MAC-10 looking to make so much money between her and Julie. And there it is. Team France only lose the 1.
Yeah, what was that? 5 kills to MAC-10s. Really nice stuff. Much better start for France this time around. And they want to have a good T-side here. Denmark will prioritize rifles on 3. Ismo and Marie, the 2 players that actually have the worst of weaponry. Not sure you want that, but They're going to be over at B, and looks like they do want to get a little aggressive. They have some support. Kick out is there. It's going to be Ismo and Marie over on B. It's going to be a very tough side to get into.
Yeah, but I think with the Mac 10s, you can afford to be a little bit more aggressive. With all the space you've got in apps, maybe you could go for a little bit of a pop later down the line. Julie just jiggling to see if she can upset one of these defenders on site. Anya playing at a very close angle. Info now goes both ways. And for France, they were thinking about going out the balcony, but now have to contend with not one, but two mollies.
Yeah, that angle jiggling from kind of the right-hand side, that's a scary one to be doing. I'm surprised we haven't seen a rotation yet. Denmark are playing so passive on B, they don't even have top, banana control. And they've just got info of player close apps. I'm really shocked we haven't seen a rotation.
It might be a read, though.
Yeah, but I think this is just going to be A. You've got so much space.
Yeah.
Okay, now a rotation will come. Marie will slide in. Not the position you want to be in with the MP9. She manages to get into sight somehow, but now the crunch comes. Some extra support, a wide swing comes out. Anya drops two. Thought she was done for there, swinging into two players. You got Sugar Shock in backside, but the Mac 10 goes back and forth. Too hard to deal with. The destination was A from the get-go, and when they do go, it's too hard to deal with.
And now Ismo just thrown it again into another one of these impossible clutches. Rachel's up close on the angle. You're now being peppered by players in towards pit. This feels so difficult. Can't even get by the Mac 10. Really like the way that they approach that, though, because you know that Denmark are so trademarked with utility. I thought maybe a flash would be thrown over from pit. Instead, it's just Anya wide swinging with Marie on low HP. They get both. Sugar Shock just needed to either stay alive or when she goes for that fight, just get the kill.
Interesting how vocal France get after that one. I think that they're intentionally really trying to be quite loud and fired up and bring that energy. Could tell that they'd been a bit deflated by Dust 2.
I mean, Denmark were giving them it on Dust 2. It was like the coaches were even getting involved. Like, Zibron is like using his hands as like a microphone almost. The Screamer card, like, it's so funny. Money is now not with Denmark. Again, that was the first full gun round. Now they're only working with pistols, 2 smokes, no flashes again, so they can't go for these poppy plays that they're trying to bring out in the first couple of rounds.
Very slow from France in this one.
I was going to say that it's actually been interesting watching the last couple of rounds for France. It's been so calm, so measured, almost the complete opposite of what you'd expect this T side to be.
Yeah, I wonder how, that obviously is quite intentional.
Yeah.
Because you see the players on this team and you do expect that in your face aggression, so Denmark have to work out how they respond to the slower play. On a map like Inferno, when it means that you play without a lot of information a lot of the time if the Ts are just creeping and crawling around. But they group towards B, and everyone is actually going to be over here for the most part. Good timing in that smoke too.
Yeah, you got to come through and you got to respect your utility.
They're going to bail.
Yeah, okay.
They got time to do it.
They do, but what if Sugar Shock drops the bomb? I mean, it shouldn't matter too much. You imagine Boiler will be cleared here by K-A-Day, and it is, but Sugar Shock finds 3!
Oh my god! That's a shock to the system, indeed. The 5-7, you said the what if, well, she delivers the spray from Astra. Oh, Marie!
How do they keep getting away with it? Yeah, that's insane for Marie, but Sugar Shock is the only defender on A. She was hard cleared in Boiler, and she rattles 3 skulls with the 5-7.
Enough, the 5-7. What? This new player that we've never seen playing at this level of the women's scene. Had some phenomenal group stage games. She's the only one on that side of the map. Oh, she has the 5-7. There wasn't even armor in that round. 3 headshots, even when she's hard cleared. Astra sprays down 4. Like, that's a 6 spray that she pulls off there. But Marie, boom, boom, to finish the job. Outrageous.
I'm so impressed with the calmness of these players, considering they're so young. Like, the fact that Marie is in a 1 versus 2, has to line up the 1D to save the round after all the hard work that's been done by both Sugar Shock and Astra. And she just hits it. And it's just another day in the office.
I don't know, production, while we've got this tack, if we've got the replay back from that, I would love to see every kill that happened. That would be beautiful. Here we go.
Just
That's the
replays
replays
from the game.
from everything, but we'll get there. I think it's technical anyway, so here we go. She just lights them up.
It's the second shot.
So this spray is sick. Marie, though, had to hit that. That had to be perfect. Thank you, production.
Yeah, that was the 3K spray down from Astra.
Oh, yeah, because she gets the trade here, and then, yeah, 3K from Pit.
Wow. I'll tell you what, that is one hell of a way to get you back into the game, because that is Team Denmark's first round.
There wasn't even armor. They had they'd stacked the site that they weren't going to.
But they were going to, but they put them off.
All by design.
I guess.
My catchphrase of the week. Wow.
I'll tell you what, I'll be completely honest with you, this is absolutely a horrible moment for Team Denmark because you've just had that insane round, you go straight into a tech pause. Like, this is probably best case scenario for Team France, actually have a little bit of an extended break from play now after that has just happened to you.
It's because someone has to check her PC. Both of them. How can you be that good with the pistols? That's so great from Sugar Shock. Prefer to have a big moment early in this decider map because it felt like she was pretty decent, along the way. Wasn't a standout player, I think, on either of the maps so far in this series. But we know what she's done so far in this event, and for her to have that big round early, that's going to be a confidence booster.
I'm just speechless. And now what's the response here from France? Because it's been these slow rounds that have been getting you on the board, but it was that slow round that was actually your undoing on top of just some incredible mechanical brilliance. When does Astra and Kaede, I'm going to say both their voices are combined here, where's the flip of the switch? Because I'd even imagine like now is a really good break point to go for one of these faster rounds. This is Team Denmark are like, okay, we now feel a little bit settled. We're now going to get the buyout. Everything's going to go back to normal. You hit them with pace. You hit them with acceleration. Maybe it feels like a convenient time to do it, and that'll be in Team Denmark's mind as well. But I feel like that would be a really good opportunity to sort of bring out that flair that we know that France have got.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, thinking more about the veto, I mean, Inferno, it makes sense that France wanted it to go here as well, just because this is also, I think, well within Lettercook's wheelhouse. It was these 3 maps were actually the 3 that team played all the time.
That's true. I think FlyQuest play Inferno a bit as well, don't they?
Yeah, it's not high on the list, I don't think. Actually, no, is it the perma?
It might be, actually. I know they don't play it frequently.
It's very low priority.
they might not play it at all. Oh, Anya eats that nade. Thought about hanging around just for a moment. Instead slides back in towards CT. Meanwhile, at Apartments, Team France have always been getting Emerald into this position, taking the space.
Yeah, Slow early, but will still hold her ground over at B. Mark doing a good job of delaying this space early. They've been able to get to apartments pretty consistently. Julie has been doing a good job of getting this space. Obviously it's being held for, but Denmark quite passive now.
Yeah, they don't really have all the info on anywhere, really. Flashbang over the top to sort of promote a balcony swing, but Emerald's delayed.
So much utility over at the B site. They can drop the smoke now, and I wouldn't be surprised if you rotate back towards A. Ismo's still got delaying utility. It's really hard for them to break into B, so A feels like the answer. However, Marie's pushed out towards long, so this might be a bit misleading. But surely they should know that this close. Good timing on that incendiary. KitKat has a smoke as well. They've held on to so much utility, and now they start to fight their way through. The smoke splits them. Julie falls, and Marie has room to work with. It's beautifully held. France weren't able to bait out utility enough, and Denmark just don't allow them any space.
Yeah, I mean, France haven't really been taking space with utility, so Denmark don't really need to respond. These rounds have been, again, the antithesis of what we expect from France. It's really slow. It's really measured. You're playing right into Denmark's wheelhouse at this point. Really got to credit the util.
Yeah, they had 3 sets of utility, like 3 smokes on the CT side.
At 25 seconds.
At that time, that's outrageous. You should never be allowing a CT side to have that many smokes left.
I like how dynamic Anya's been as well, starting over at B some rounds, going into top middle, and taking these proactive fights. Astra in banana. Team France know that they can get this control. That Denmark have never really fought for this.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a very passive holds across the map, really. They'll go for some sort of late round info plays, often from long, but for the most part, this is a relatively reserved hold from Denmark. But again, it's about using that utility as late as possible. They don't want to drop it early.
That's a well-timed smoke as well. Not that Marie knows it, but they were just putting out nades to go for the B exec.
Emerald's just lurking with the deagle. And this is the force buy-in, so Denmark, if they can hold against this B play, they can start to actually build into this. They're going to burst through. Marie needs to run back. She can't get away. Julie with a huge opener. Astra by her side. B falls. If you can deal with this lurk, maybe there's a way, but you haven't dealt with it well enough.
Keep it simple. That's all that France needed to do. They got close to the smoke. They just pop flashed through. Marie was caught throwing that incendiary. Horrible timing for her, but couldn't get away. And the player over at second oranges just doesn't swing. Just waits patiently. Feels like she could maybe find a multi-kill. You know, the money's not going to be in the greatest state of affairs, but it's that pack mentality. And all it takes this time is just one flashbang to get them in.
Yeah, I think that's maybe just not the right response in the right moment. You definitely need that player to swing. It's Ismo, right? Yeah. You really need Ismo to swing that to help out Marie as she's trying to scamper away. Even if Marie had been able to, instead of committing to throwing the incendiary deep, being able to drop it behind her as she ran as well, that could have really supported Ismo. But great timing on the smoke. Second piece of utility, not so well timed, and that ends up costing them. And that was a very important round for France to win.
Yeah, because it puts the control back on them. Sure, Team Denmark will have another round here, but that was a low buy you wanted a bomb plant from. Instead, you took the whole lot. And now you're at this point where, again, you're putting pressure on Team Denmark, who are playing just not scared, but they feel, I think, overly comfortable in the setups. To the point where they're saying to France, have all the map control, you're not going to do anything with it. Well, they did in that round.
Oh my god, look at the damage they just did. Astra gets 2 kills just purely off utility. The first time Denmark decide to fight in banana and it does not work out. At least KitKat's answering back, but she might not be ready for Astra. No! No one's ever ready for Astra. That's more of what we expect to see.
Yeah, and as you said, the first ever time Team Denmark put pressure on Banana is, again, just the timing of this utility is perfect. Astra scaling up the right-hand side. All she needs to do is wait for the sound cue. She gets it with the reload. It's an easy dismissal with KitKat. And Emerald, again, promoting that there is always going to be this lurk play. And that means that when France can now be a little bit more aggressive, going for this map control on one side of the map, you're always going to have to keep reinforcement on A, because you know Emerald will be there at some point.
Yeah, expect Astra to be prolific over towards this B side and both sides of the server. I think that they're not going to be so passive on their B holds. I think Astra is, in my eyes, actually, you know, one of the best players for Na'Vi Javelins on this map in particular. She really shines over at B. It's her and Hanker, right, that play that bomb site?
Yeah.
Yeah. Deadly duo.
It's been actually a really interesting storyline, actually, to see Asher go into that team and be just the best player on that team.
It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
How does it? Well, she's the second best player, I think. Oh no, I think
She's the
slightly
best
better than Hanker, right? Yeah. It's pretty close between the two, right, if I believe.
Oh, it's pretty close between all of them.
That's true, actually. Yeah, it's not like there's any sort of big gap. We're going to see Team Poland play later. See most of her teammates. D7 had a pop off earlier. Anya will get the first kill in this round. Finally, some success in an opener for Denmark. With the ult fired off, they now start to move, and Denmark haven't really made their rotations yet.
Oh, that's a good collection though. And the swing out from Boiler, they're not ready for it. So KitKat will find Astra. We know how prolific this Boiler position has been for Team Denmark, and now Rachel is catching strays and will even not quite fall. Finally gets traded by Ismo, and it's Kaede in the 1v3. Bomb down, feels pretty good, but how much more can she get from this?
Oh, this is so difficult for her. They're so close by. Gap on the smoke too. At least the Incendiary buys a small amount of time, but two players now progress. That's a great bottle of flames for Kaede, able to deal with Ismo. This player from Long surely will lock it in. Anya exploits that smoke, denies the clutch. But the critical part of that was that double setup in towards the apartments. As soon as the first contact comes from Sugar Shock in towards onto Emerald, there's no way you're anticipating KitKat then to swing from Boiler.
No, because Sugar Shock's always been the Boiler player. She's always been on that left-hand side of the apartments if they've ever been aggressive in their Denmark. I think what's really good is the fact that Anya finally gets purchased on the AWP, gets rewarded for going for these proactive peaks, and now I think that will just keep her persuaded to keep going for them. Sugar Shock's got an XM in this round. It is still a full buy here for Team France, but maybe looks to get up close in the apartments one more. France don't care, because look at Rachel. She wants top banana, and she's got it.
Okay, and just set that control early. Honestly, with how good Sugar Shock was with the 5.7, the XM is basically the shotgun version of that pistol, so don't hate it. Has the same angle from last round. I think Emerald's being a little bit more passive this time. In fact, sorry, it's Julie. Oh no, it is Emerald. Rachel gets up close. Sugar Shock hears the jump up, and now she might not be actually anticipating. They're going to split into apartments in both directions, and it's the two CTs that find success. Sugar Shock didn't have to worry about the other angle because Anya was holding. Another variation in that sniper setup, but now France have to go onto the B bomb site. They try and burst in. Marie finds success, and this time the B hold is strong. Kaede attempts the clutch once more. Tag through the smoke brings her a little bit low. Tap on it. Anya doesn't swing. Patience knows that the advantage is with her team. This time around, I'll swing for the info. Kaede trying to find one of these taps that'll make this clutch easier. With this push-up banana, there are players just simply everywhere. It's so uncomfortable for her. She isolates one. The swing surely comes from another. And there it is. Sugar Shock confirms it. Much more like what we expect to see from Denmark after that dust too.
Got to give a lot of credit here to Denmark, just in the ending portions of these rounds, playing so safe to the point where they can't let individual errors creep in. That's never an option. You put them in a 2v1, 3v1, there's no chance for France to unravel it. Excellent work there. Anya will peek, get the info, but then it's just the double layering of the utility on Banana. It doesn't matter that Kaede is getting info of where these players are. The important thing is they're just wasting their time.
Been really enjoying these last few rounds from Anya, as you mentioned. She's just been so all over the place. Variations in her setups and successful in the opening kill more often than not.
Yeah, she's never been in the same place 2 rounds in a row.
Really good to see for a player that's not a primary AWPer either. Got to remember that. Takes up the mantle for this squad.
Yeah, what's good here as well is it's actually Anya and Sugar Shock that are delivering, and then later on you just need Marie and Ismo to sort of be there with them, and then that feels like all the recipe for success for Team Denmark if they want to progress further in this competition.
So it might be a pop onto B. So Ismo Marie to be tested once more. They fell to this sort of buy not too long ago. It's Marie that got overwhelmed. She waits to drop this smoke and she has to be fast in the response. Good timing of it. Utility comes over. Marie is ready this time and they run straight into her. It's a clean up from Marie. Emerald will get one back. And Marie tries to get all 5. Will be forced off the line and stick on the bomb. Kaede, oh, she'll live and she will get it down. Marie almost gets her through the smoke and ace denied. The round will still go for Denmark.
Yeah, that's the equalization, much better. Marie this time understanding what the economy is more likely to be for France, so keeps her gun out. And that's all that's needed. Unlucky for her not to get the ace, but still more than enough in the round. 5 rounds plays 5, and where France are genuinely just more T-sided as a team as this outfit, you feel like they've got to come away with the advantage here, otherwise they could be in trouble.
Bit of redemption for Marie after some struggles over on B. Yeah, 5-5 without the pistol, right? That's a very compelling scoreline for Denmark. Sets them up in a good position to try and take at least one of these final 2.
I mean, it was the pistols that got them that first round.
That is true. Kaede.
There you go.
Orb comes out. She has that forward spawn. She'll get that kill onto Marie. Ismo. Oh, yeah, got to be careful. One of that utility from her teammate's body. We'll get it. Kaede looking for more, and she'll find it.
That's an insane pre-fire. And KitKat's got to be careful not to go through this smoke. Another break on it. Anya has found Emerald in the meantime, and KitKat goes through the smoke and finds 2. So therefore, it puts us all even. Denmark have to retake.
Yeah, it's definitely a chance for this. You know they're going for it. Anya with the AWP. Plenty of utility for these 2 players, and they've been very good on Inferno so far. No one at New Box. It's a Dark Banana setup, so the T's are very separated. Julie has a flashbang she could potentially use to set up Astra. If one of these mollies goes into Dark, it spells trouble. Smoke onto Banana as well will isolate that position. Ollie misses the mark, so now they have to use the other one to clear New Box. That will give them the idea that Astra is here. Now you know the only player left is Julie, and Sugar Shock will remove her, but I don't think there's time. It's down to the wire. Has she got it? No. France will take the round.
Yeah, Julie had to push through that smoke, just had to be there, and it's so unfortunate that Molly misses. Because they waste the extra few seconds clearing New Box. If that lands, that round is a whole different story. Instead, it's one in which France hold on. That's the first time this series, by the way, we've seen Kaede actually being proactive, taking the AWP and just running at them.
Yeah, it's a 3-on-5 that Denmark almost bring back against France, right? That's KitKat making a hero play to get 2 kills. The lurk gets dealt with, and suddenly the 2-on-2, the retake, just a second off.
3 MAC-10s in this final round of the half after a round in which France win as well.
It's 3 players without head armor, so it's actually not too bad, really. Everyone went down last round. Very B-centric, so Denmark lead many players there, which means lightly defended over on A. KitKat with an MP9. Oh, she's in for a world of trouble. First kill is hers. How long can she hold? No longer. France in a good position to end the half with a reasonable lead.
Yeah, there's one smoke here for the retake. Marie's only on a UMP, but Anya with the AWP, this makes things very difficult indeed. Double swing coming through short, but you've got a bait and switch in mini pit. You've got one player that's in towards apartments. Team Denmark trying to scale this. This smoke is really good as it allows them in towards the site, but the bomb applying for default. Ismo's just going to stick it and try to, but it's Julie coming back round from Boiler. That's enough to get France 7.
Yeah, nice try. There's not a lot you can really do there, is there? You don't really have the information on their positions. You assume it's going to be a heavy pit setup with a player in apartments, perhaps, but it's Julie in towards short that makes sure that bomb doesn't get defused from in front of them. So France will lead at the half, 7-5. We did posture that this is going to be their stronger side, the T side. But still going to feel good, this pistol. Vital for Denmark.
Do you know what? I know I said that, but on Inferno, I actually think like they'll be fine on CT because they could just be so aggressive and take all the space in Banana second
Yeah,
mid.
I think that's going to be the
That's gonna be
tempo
tough.
setter. How do you deal with Astra over here? I presume it'll be Rachel by her side, but we'll see.
This is so passive from Team Denmark. They're expecting someone to run and jump over second mid to get the info. That's why they hide around the corner. Instead, it is Julie ready to drop a nade at any sort of contact. Instead, holds it. Just for an extra couple of seconds. Was hoping that Denmark would group more in towards the choke point. Instead, they disengage. They look to go in towards B. And that's where the majority of the France defense lies.
Gonna be tricky. Kata's got an incendiary as well that she can drop just to delay. So that's gonna make it really awkward for Denmark. And we'll buy time for rotations if they want them, but with 3 players already here, it feels strongly defended. She gets a whiff of something. Now the smoke comes. No, flash. She'll drop the flames, and that's gonna try and split up these defenders. She's gonna push through. She's crazy, wants to try and provide distraction, but her teammates are falling. Astra only able to take down one, so despite walking into the more defended site, it is successful for Denmark. Bomb down, there is a kit on Julie.
Yeah, Sugar Shock is low. But again, getting these players out of this crossfire can be incredibly tricky. Marie can also get first contact on Banana to try and set up her teammates. Well, to be honest, she could just remain tucked. Bomb already ticking down. At least there is a kit. But look at the positions. They don't know that they're here. A swing, but a miss. And Ismo will claim both.
I don't know how Sugar Shock survives that shot. That's crazy. But Denmark, that pistol was so necessary for them. Chance to equalize the scoreline. They walked into the stacked bomb site. KD tries to push through to get something going, but Denmark were aware of that play when they saw the player in CT dropping that Molotov. You assume there's going to be some sort of aggressive push to try and support the players on site. You kind of expect a little bit more out of those defenders.
Yeah, you do. They don't really walk away with anything. Is Denmark just running over that B site, feeling incredibly confident, actually giving France a taste of their own medicine. It's Astra dropping utility on B, but then going over to form this stack on A. But currently, Denmark are just interested in checking out Banana. They've dropped a smoke on towards short themselves to disguise that they want to go there, but the end destination is completely vacant. Red carpet rolled out for the scoreline to be tied up on our decider.
And you will bring the bomb over, and maybe these Mac 10s can go for a little adventure. Very curious as to what this T side has on offer for Denmark, because we have a good idea of what France's CT side will look like. I'm glad we're getting a close one on the decider, because these two teams, they've deserved this battle, both showing their strengths on their opponents' map picks. We'll get Marie farming up. She's been brilliant thus far in this entire series. And no casualties against the pistols, and plenty of Mac 10 kills. We're tied up as France will bring out the guns.
Yeah, I was just trying to check to see sort of what sides Denmark were favoured on against Poland when they played Inferno. It was actually their CT side. They got 7 rounds on their CT side against Team Poland.
That's impressive against Poland.
They had 19 first kills as well in that game.
Wow.
Which is interesting because actually on Dust 2, the one in which they sort of rolled Team France, it was France that had all the opening kills.
Okay, so we'll be Astra and Rachel over here. So a tough combo to deal with. This round not super active just due to the lack of resource to fight it. Instead, it's France getting very aggressive in the apartments. The MP9, the FAMAS up close, KD out long, hold strong. Will be overwhelmed, but they go 1 for 1 in the apartments, so an advantage for France, but Emerald needs to stay alive.
Yeah, it's actually really good that they went 1 for 1 there because it gives Denmark a little bit more breathing room. Look at Marie being very active here in towards long. Smoke fading, but she shot before she swung, and that gave the game away. At least Kit Kat will find Emerald. It's a 1 versus 3. That's made it a little bit easier. They know exactly where she is. Molly intrusive, flashbang good enough, but the connection is not. Astra saves France.
Picks up that FAMAS, there's not enough bullets in it. You can see she realized that she has to conserve her ammo so she doesn't blow the whole clip. If that's fully reloaded, she 100% gets that kill on Astra and then she's ready for that second fight. Big multi-kill from KD getting 2 out towards long. If she only goes 1 for 1 there, it's a very different scenario. And Marie as well, it's a little unfortunate there. I think that's a little bit of a nervy moment for her. Had the right read in the situation too, and I think she had a good chance to at least come away with 1. It was the right read to go for the aggressive play.
Yeah, what an off angle from Kaede. That is the last place you expect someone to be defending long from when you smoked Library and Arch. Swing, spotted by Ismo, but now information goes the other way. They keep trying to flash, they really want this fight and Ismo will take it. There's a trade out of Astra, she is everywhere.
Yeah, this is going to be what you're going to see from France on Banana. They will not go quietly.
Whoa, Emerald's in the smoke at the end of apps. Keep your eyes on that.
Yeah, will be extinguished. She gets aggressive. Punish wanted to try and make a play with the MP9, so an advantage given back to Denmark, and they just want to go.
Yeah, that's interesting actually. I thought it would go the other way. That's an important fight. Julie slides in, and then from sight, it's Kaede again to get the kills, and she wants even more. 2 versus 3. Denmark know exactly where these players are, but can't contend with them. Kaede has found another kill, and it's all left onto Anya. Has to swap to the AK, and Julie is still not peeking. And finally, when she does, Anya looks the other way.
Well held there. I don't think they were anticipating Julie to be up on the balcony at all after they've just gotten the kill on towards Emerald. You can see, I think it was Sugar Shock was just running through there, trying to group up with her team, pushing through short. You can see why they made that call, right? They removed that apartments player, and they feel like there is some more space there because you anticipate that there's been a rotation to support Astra and B.
I half get it, I half don't, because they didn't have proper banana control. But all they did to sort of sell that they were in banana was they threw 1 molly sort of halfway up, and then they left it instantly. I think that was a little bit more scatterbrain from Denmark than we're typically used to seeing. I think that a clear sort of comparison to that would be, think about Ancient, you know, when they did these slow downs, they really had good map control. But yeah, I think they just wanted to go. I think they wanted to get ahead of it. It does make sense.
Any call's the right call if everyone commits to it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that one will slow down the momentum for a moment. France will, I think, take the lead. But yeah, I think the way that round started is what you should be anticipating to see going forward. And the question is going to be, how do Denmark respond with such aggressive playing towards banana so consistently?
They just got to save, preserve their utility just a little bit. Maybe lead with flashbangs rather than mollies, and then go back into banana sort of at a later timing.
So you don't think you try and go blow for blow?
Don't go blow for blow against Astra and Rachel. I feel like that's a bad idea.
Yeah, it does, you know, scare you to think about that prospect.
I think Astra's best position, genuinely, is on banana.
Yeah, I think so for sure. So it has to be an eco for Denmark and France. Yeah, they're looking to take commanding lead. Oh no, it's not that one's not live, I don't believe. But regardless, it will be the eco, so
Yeah.
it's likely we'll see 10-7. It's going to be tough for Denmark to build this back.
I've got to give Denmark a lot of credit, actually, because obviously Ancient was a complete blowout, and then you go on Dust 2, and then you kind of give them a taste of their own medicine. Inferno starts the same way Ancient did, with France being in control. You win that round with pistols, and it's not just a one-off. You build back in. It's a really competitive third map.
I've been thoroughly impressed by just how competitive a lot of these series have been here
Yeah.
at the World Esports Championship. Because I think it would be very easy to look at a few of these teams and just expect them just to breeze through all the way. But there's been a lot more contest, and Denmark has been one who have had to play the two favorites, right? They've had to play Poland and they've had to play France. Like that's a tough draw to have to get through.
Yeah, and you think, look, if they can actually take down Team France, maybe apart from Poland, like who's stopping them, right? The potential to go very deep into this competition.
Portugal will be the next port of call. They're, I believe, on the bracket, so the winner of this will go up against them.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Spain, USA, winner of that will play winner of Poland, Sweden.
It's only a dink with the clock. It isn't the end of the world. The bomb's still not committing yet. The bomb's still in second mid. Denmark are trying to get as much value out of this eco as possible. Trying to draw blood from a stone at times, but as much utility drained, it feels pretty okay.
Yeah, yeah. France have not got the biggest bank balance, so anything you can do here is good. They got two flashes on the T side. They're going to pop through late, and lack of real presence outside of this Glock shot onto Astra means that there's a reasonable chance to pop through onto this bomb site and maybe do some damage. Here we go. Flashbangs over the top. Astra blinded, sprays forward, and Astra undeterred. Drops the molly, doesn't overpeak. Rachel's there by her side. Ismo just needs to make sure she dies, which she'll run to her death right now.
Yeah. Make sure she gets that loss bonus. Astra is on like 6 HP and just keeps fighting. just gets so many kills. I feel like Astra has been definitely the MVP for Team France in this series. Was sort of the only outlet for them on Dust 2. Has some really important moments here on Inferno to give Team France the edge heading into this second half.
Yeah, it just wasn't needed on the first map. Let's see it then, Denmark. Guns out. Marie looking to potentially fight forward to this deep CT smoke. Molotov into the apartments. Again, France get aggressive. Emerald just drives by, but can't get the headshot. Kayde peering out the window. KitKat has the read, but the timing isn't there for her. But maybe it is. Yeah, punishes. 2 kills found. There is a rotation back, so there's still 2 players to deal with on A.
I think you go B though, because Ismo has got this space. She's ahead of the smoke. She saw the flashbang come over, but there wasn't any follow-up. She heard nothing.
In fact, France are going to just stack on the B bomb site. They figure they've lost 2 players over here. Denmark might well commit like they did last time, but no, they made the right call as you highlighted. Ismo's space, she calls them over.
And this is what I thought Denmark were going to do. You know that round where I was like, oh, you got the kill in towards Apps and you've rushed this?
Yep.
Like, this is more what I expected. And now they're going to benefit off it.
It's going to be the straight execute in, and it's going to be an empty bomb site that they move into. France will be in a position where they'll probably just save it despite having good money. Still a long run ahead, and if you keep all this cash, keep these 3 AKs, which are very important. Yeah, they've got so much. There's no reason to even consider this. Don't want to give Denmark that breaking point where they can actually get back into this game.
No, I wonder if there's any conversation going on just with Team Denmark in general, because in the mid rounds, Banana has never been fought for. It's always been sort of out towards long, in towards apartments. We only see Banana contestment really at the start of rounds here for Team France. I think that is a trend that is continuing to evolve and shape here in this second half, and I wonder if it's one in which Team Denmark have noticed.
Julie just holds to see if she can catch an exit. Denmark don't want to lose players here, but they might. Their money isn't great, so if Julie can take a multi, no, they're not going to swing. So, oh. Marie will actually come around from top middle. So, beautiful from Denmark. They keep their clean sheet. No players fall. 2-round game.
Yeah, at least they have got a little bit of cash in reserve. Kaede's now got the AWP. We saw that round from her on T's side where she was being really proactive. Got that pre-aim in on Banana. Spawn doesn't really promote to go to B, but she could go for a mid-fight.
No up on the outside, so it's uncontested. HE, she mostly dodges that. Doesn't wide swing, instead goes for the peek in the second mid, but timing has to fall back. Doesn't reveal it's in play, but Denmark should suspect it.
Here we go, here's that adjustment. Now pushing down Banana pretty early. Ismo's conceded the control. Denmark wants to retake this. It's a big fight brewing. And Rachel has only got to smoke it. It's not a flashbang. So Astra's just going to tuck in the corner. Rachel's going to try and bait.
Yeah, how good are Denmark at retaking this? Molly, perfection. Astra, cooking. She's burning. She's gone.
Much better. And now you're going to see whether Rachel's going to need a rotate. And because she's playing quite ahead at half wall, she's saying to the team, just remain on A, guys. It's fine. Emerald's push through the apartments at the same time. A different angle of approach potentially could come through Boiler.
Oh, this is scary. Kaede actually misses the mark. And now the swing out from Julie does a lot of damage, but no kill found. But this isn't going to be the play. They want to split, and that is a fantastic shot from KitKat.
Yeah, and now Emerald's position is completely redundant. Rachel might find one, but she's stuck between 2 angles.
Yeah, now she's moved off. You know that you've got the space on towards this bomb site. And you still got to worry if you're Rachel about this flank through CT. Denmark have called this perfectly. There is going to be a fast rotation up Banana, but they have the advantage.
Yeah, Marie. Oh, never mind. She's turned back around. And Rachel has just found Sugar Shock on the flank. Ismo will get that necessary kill. It's even again, but they know where Ismo is. They don't know where Anya is. Ismo is doing everything to try and sell Anya. Keep this position. Emerald now notes this, but how do you cross this? They swing together. They find Ismo, but Anya gets both.
How's she done that then? A little bit of divine intervention perhaps, but Anya takes down 2. Beautifully handled from Denmark there. They flush out Astra. They work out how to deal with this early control France are taking down Banana. They almost walk into that stacked bomb site, but they find the outlet. KitKat with that headshot to Kaede, that was huge. Gave them the space to split. Rachel has to fall off. And now you've removed another player early.
It's really well done because, look, we speak so much about the apartments control being taken by France. Denmark had no one in apps, and they just make the call. Long will be the gap. And it was. And that was the last thing Team France anticipated. And now Denmark pump the brakes. They expect this reaction to come after getting the opening kill in Banana.
I got so much time to work with, so much utility as well. You got to worry about this apps push. It's been so consistent from France. Anya holding for Kaede's peak. Denmark just sit back and let France come to them.
Yeah, and to be honest, if you're France, I feel like you should be gambling one site here. It's so important to try and hold on to this weaponry.
Rachel's got an MP9 to deal with this B here. There's going to be a rotation from Emerald, but it's going to come far too late. They're already scaling into the bomb site. Astra does catch off the lurk. Can Rachel do anything? Yes, 1 kill. Is that going to be enough? It's still the advantage for Denmark. Emerald arrives quickly, being held, so she can't push out. Ismo covers that off. Bomb goes down. 2 on 3. Do you go for this?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like you do want to at this point, just because Astra's made that rotation, but you're not being given anything. Emerald's the only one with utility as well, and she's at an awkward place to throw it. Bomb halfway gone. I wouldn't mind the retreat here.
Yeah, you feel like you kind of have to, but Emerald looking to set up some utility for Astra. Can she be the hero for them? Anya will remove her, so now it's just Emerald. Smoke onto the bomb. She might just try and stick it, but surely no chance here. Guys, HE, there we go.
It's fine.
We're tied up, and that broke the money for France.
I was going to say, that's why I was calling for the save, even at the 3 versus 4. 3 versus 5, rather. Like, it would make sense just to kind of consistently have a little bit into every round. Instead, France, that they're going to save, they're going to have HEs, but they give the advantage over to Denmark.
I was surprised Denmark didn't pick Inferno and instead went to Ancient. About to take control for the first time on this map. Aggressive push dealt with by Sugar Shark. Rachel gets one back, shows what her 5-7 can do. Not quite as lethal as Sugar's.
Yeah,
She gets
and
2.
it's still fine, because look, at this point, whilst all that was going on, Marie and Ismo had pushed in towards B. Ismo just goes in towards CT. Rachel anticipates this, so we'll find Ismo. You don't want to give Rachel too many chances, and this position is everything from Marie. That was expensive. That you walk into that with a couple of HEs, you walk away from that with 3 kills, but Denmark aren't going to mind all that much.
Yeah, they're fairly unfazed.
Marie's got money as well to drop Sugar Shark.
Yeah, Anya's got plenty as well. It's a fighting round here. France have basically, their 2 plays so far on this side have been take banana control aggressively early, push up deep, and push into apartments.
Yeah, there's been no variation at all.
It might even be worth holding a bit more passive. Denmark really burns seconds off the clock, and if you play like Denmark, approach their CT side where you can see this space, there might be an avenue just to delay long enough.
Yeah, holding utility I think would be pretty pivotal here, especially in dire straits rounds like this. Instead, look at the reaction out of Denmark. It's interesting that they've done 2 smokes. One of them has missed in towards Arch, so Kaede is now ahead of both of them. As you can see that no one is coming in towards top mid. When's this rotation point for France?
A nice little resmoke into Banana, but they don't respect it, so they get the information. No one is close by, and I think they just want to scale off this. When you see this empty smoke with no one behind it, surely that you read that as a bit of a deterrent, and you think you can get ahead of it.
You've got to be worried as well, though, because they think their smokes have landed, and they think that France don't really know. You might only be prepared for 1 player here.
In fact, it might be a 3rd. Kaede starts to move.
Oh, this is interesting. So now they go back in towards top brackets to do a second volley of utility. They're really trying to keep the A defenders locked in.
Yeah, smoke and mirrors, isn't it? Just gonna be the lurk though. Kit Kat looks to try and find some space. She's got a really good lurk timing to flank. Here comes the hit. Smoke lands on CT. Kaede tries to get ahead of it, and she does remove Ismo. That's a big kill. Flashbang out. Astra can't quite connect, but there's still Rachel in backside, and she's going to be such a nuisance to deal with. Keep your eyes on Kit Kat. She needs to speed up, needs to be here to help her team because they're getting eaten alive by these defenders. The flank will arrive, but it's too late. 10 seconds left. France have held on.
Yeah, they played that so well, and it was interesting because when the mollies were being lined up, I thought, is there ever a world in which Kit Kat calls the rest of the squad back? Because there was 30 seconds, they could have gone. You know that France would have bit down on that rotate, but the only space you had was in towards long. And it could have been uncomfortable, it could have been messy. I actually like the decision just to commit into that. But the flank was just way too late. And the site defenders hold on.
Yeah, it's having that 3rd player there, right? Kaede getting that first kill is everything because it means the attention is off both Rachel and Astra, and they have a lot of room to work with. Defensive smoke as well, they kept utility, all helped out. Aggressive fight forward in Banana. Kaede started here with the orb, but kick out with the Mach 10 has actually forced her back for a moment.
But now you've seen the AWP there, and you know that's not one of the normal B defenders. Do you stick and twist on this? If you're Denmark, do you want to keep going in towards Banana, or do you reset and immediately go in towards A? It should be the latter.
Boost up for Rachel over on B as well. They've seen that they're not throwing that smoke that does the deep top side, so they get a player up on high. Anya goes hunting. K-Day is slowly rotating over. We don't have that proactive apartments control, but a smoke now lands in the face of Sugar Shock. Emerald and Julie on site. They're gonna need that Moto smoke to lock off this angle. Molotov forward is good. Anya adjusts. Julie's low. 10 HP, just surviving. Rotation now starts to move. They need that smoke for Moto, or K-Day's gonna have a field day. K-Day gets the line for one. And another. But there's no utility. There's nothing to block off her eyes. Oh, there's a massive gap. A huge one, but the bomb will still go down.
Yeah. Sugar Shock lucky to actually not be peaked by Kaede on this side. She goes back in for it. Keep your eyes on Astra because she's biding her time with this rotate in towards second mid. You mentioned no utility, and that means this crossfire needs to hold. France are waiting until they can go to set up Astra.
Difficult one for Denmark here in the 2-on-3. Astra has arrived in the apartments. She can look to clear out some of these angles. Marie can't get it done. Kaede runs her down. It's on the Sugar Shock. This new player, and Kaede swings from long. It's France that finds series point.
Yeah, Kaede's been immaculate. That's now back-to-back rounds where her impact has been felt.
That's
is there enough
ace.
time? Yeah, there is.
They had kits on the other players. I don't know why. She does everything. All 5 kills and the defuse.
That's awesome. She's been so dynamic. Gets the opening kill at B, resets back in towards Library. Miss smoke at long really costs Denmark, but it's the timing of this retake. They wait for Astra to go, and then Kaede's just running and gunning with the AWP.
I'm surprised they don't throw a smoke down before they peek out on towards site there.
It's because they hope that that flashbang does enough, and they deal with Julie on site, so I think they want to scale into the site on the left-hand side. I just don't think they expect the timing, but I'm as surprised as you are. There should have been a Moto smoke.
Yeah, because Kaede got the opportunity to get 2 kills there, just complete open site to look at. Because Denmark did well in terms of actually navigating the space to get towards A. They found Emerald and they were able to bring Julie down low. It looked very scary, but Kaede does everything.
High pressure moments for these players. We spoke about the lack of experience, and maybe that is a sign of it. Round 24, we go the distance here on the deciding map. Which team goes through to the semi-final? Can Denmark force overtime?
That's the question. Got a Tech 9 and a Mac 10 amongst these Galils. Not even a single AK. Kaede gets free reign with the sniper, and she'll just be posted up on B. They're going to rotate everyone else towards A.
Yeah, fair enough. I think you give Kaede a lot of responsibility here, but I think it's the right call. You also got Emerald just jiggling in apps. Julie can come over and they can start to take all this space. Another re-smoke. This is becoming a little bit out of hand now. Flashbang good, but Kaede's that much better.
Yeah, great kill. Look at the damage that's been done. She just falls back and it's all Kaede. Support will come over in the form of Rachel now. But you're still going to get past the French sniper. Smoke will allow the cross, so they can get into the site. Kaede, no mercy. It's a cleanup on B. France go through.
And it's one of the most experienced players. Yeah, look at how much it means. They know that that game was decided by their sniper.
Those last 2 rounds, it's all Kaede. So much responsibility put on her, and she delivers. Big props to Astra as well for her performance on the 2nd and 3rd maps. Julie, lights out on map 1. It was a team performance across the board.
Yeah, it was fantastic from France because they're able to sort of overwhelm the odds. It's not only them that set the tempo on map 1, they come back from that damning Dust 2 performance. And on Inferno, Denmark, they showed their strength, they showed their resilience, but unfortunately it was not enough today. And whilst France move on, we've got to give a lot of credit here to Team Denmark. The young blood, the Danish superstars really proved why they belonged on that playoff stage.
Yeah, I'm just so impressed by Team Denmark. I really didn't anticipate that they would put up such a fight in this series. A domination on Dust 2. Let's not forget, they put France in their place